on too much stuff.
Yep, we're live.
We're live. Then hello and welcome to all of our viewers at home. As a summary from last time, we had the group in the white shard in the air realm. They traveled with the dartsmen to the other two rifts. They had seen previously the yellow shard through the desert through one of the rift walls. One was opaque white that they visited, and the other one showed what looked to be an alternate timeline of Neverwinter, with a volcano instead of the sea of floating ice, or sea of moving ice, rather. They had dinner with everyone at the Great Hall and learned the secret of the essence from Lady Richtree, that the withdrawal symptoms passed to children of those that are addicted, or even take it just once. As it is a blood curse, it then manifests in the children, and they are addicted for life. Very unfortunate. However, none of them have had children yet, so it seems to be fine. They waited until darkness, and then went to the Essence Reduction Center, filled with the Reducers, the very secretive group. You went in through one of the walls in the Essence Reduction Center, bypassing the guard at the front. A probably wise move. You gathered the lore of the brothers, and they were the ones who actually created the Great Wind. That was the giant wind golem, actually, that was not threatening the city, but always hanging around in the clouds looking threatening. They convinced the brothers to not kill anyone not responsible for their imprisonment. And then the brothers summoned the Great Wind, held the city hostage, keeping their promise to not kill anyone, but then were convinced by the party to let them out of the darkness so that the starvation of crops dying would not in turn kill them indirectly. However, the brothers did take control of the city and now rule it as a group with an iron fist.
Which is fair.
Fair enough. As wizards should be ruling class, apparently was the decision there. Everyone's okay with this.
No, it's more of a balance thing, you know. They've been ruled and enslaved for so long. Let's just let them rule for a while, and then maybe they will find equilibrium.
They're old. They're gonna die anyways.
That's a good system of government. I like that system. We should try that. I think France did once.
Equilibrium?
letting the lower caste come up and rule for a while. Yeah. In any case, Ranox Enterprises, who started all of this business, was taken down by the Wizards Guards. This all happened in the prime material plane, which you are tied to as normal people, quote unquote. And with the fall of Ranox Enterprises, messages can now come into the falling city as well as going out, so contact has been established. Families are reconnecting as much as they can, etc., etc. Finally, the group traveled through the rift to the sea/volcano area in a dart ship, heading to what they saw was Neverwinter. And jumping out of the ship before it crashed into the water, you met some guards at the docks at which you landed, and showed them your writ of passage to ward off any questions that they might have had. The adventures of last time awarding you level 10. And now we are setting the scene at the docks of Neverwinter, free to do as you wish with your shiny writs of passage. Currently, you know that the Neverwinter Guard does not have a very large navy. There are some merchant ships, many merchant ships that have been harassed and maybe harbor ill will towards the Redbeards of inhabiting the volcano island. The Redbeards, of course, being the pirate gang that is helping to give the Sword Coast its name. As not a reminder, but Faerun and the North Sword Coast looks kind of like that. From what your characters know, there is,
that's all ice there.
Yeah, that's ice. And this is now the location of the volcano, Neverwinter being fairly far away.
Can I see? It's called the Ice Peak, the volcano.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The melted ice peak, it's called.
It's now melted.
Yeah. So our original thought was maybe it's a long time ago, but it's definitely just an alternate dimension, right? Question: which of these waters is without gas?
Without gas is this one.
Yeah. Thank you.
All of the waters of the Sword Coast have no gas in them.
But plenty of salt. Good. So here we are. What do we do now?
Get a nice meal. We only ate like cornflakes and some bread in the fallen city.
That's a very good
I
point.
get some meat.
If they have some.
I think they have some meat in Neverwinter.
It's Neverwinter, yeah.
I mean,
So-
it's never winter, right?
I mean, it's Neverwinter like captured in a shard.
This
so
is a vegan universe?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's a universe with vegan elves.
Yeah.
Everyone. No, it's the races are a pretty standard mix, as you would expect. The only main difference seems to be this unusual volcano that you can't quite remember. And so the general temperature as well is a little bit warmer than you would expect in Neverwinter.
Okay. So I mean, I think we can definitely have our meal, but I think one of the goals we should keep in mind is try and figure out the differences between our home and this place, just so we understand a bit better.
yeah, we should definitely figure out when we are.
Yeah.
Maybe to see if the key characters that we had contact with also exist in this plane. I mean, in this kind of time, so maybe.
An alternate version of
Yeah.
them? What if there's alternate versions of us?
Who?
Oh,
All with beards and
the other peacekeepers.
the evil versions, the evil doppelgangers.
Give me
Uh-oh.
ideas.
Oops.
What time of day is it?
So you exited the falling city just after the darkness lifted,
Mm-hmm.
and flew towards the rift, which took about 2 or 3 hours, and then again from the rift wall into Neverwinter took about 2 or 3 hours. So it's around midday.
So we are hungry, I suppose. You're from here, aren't you?
Yes.
So
You
would
should
you know of a good tavern where we can have a good meal?
Oh yeah, there are several options.
One
Maybe
you would
some-
recognize as if
maybe
it's
some
different.
good rumors too.
The Fork and Bottle is good.
Okay.
I love that one. That's good.
Tonight's event is sponsored by.
That would be an option. Or if you are more focused on drinks, we could also go to a more classical bar. But I guess you're hungry.
Yeah, fork and bottle sounds good. Especially if you can recognize the differences, like
Yeah,
different
from
staff,
Uh-huh.
food is different,
Yeah.
so on. That would be useful, and
If it
especially,
exists.
yes, but that's
Of course.
the first part of the check. Yes. Yeah, let's go there. Sounds like a plan. We go to the fork
Right.
and bottle.
So you ask around for it. Nobody really
Well,
seems to
he would know where it is.
Okay, then you head in that general direction.
Do the streets look like the city layout the same?
The city layout is roughly similar.
Did not
These
come-
streets aren't exactly where they are, or where you would expect them to be.
Mhm.
Sometimes you make a turn and it's a dead end, but you make your way to where you'd expect the fork and bottle to be. In its place is the spoon and jug.
Curses!
Looking very friendly. There's people walking around. There's people having drinks and laughing. Some people playing darts or dice. A lively pub. Midday meal. Everyone is off from their smithing, etc., and sitting down for.
Mm-hmm.
So that answers the first question. So yeah.
Yeah, let's have lunch.
Okay.
Um,
I was gonna say I will keep an eye on any kind of differences from what I know of Neverwinter, but I think that's covered already. So okay. Yeah, so let's grab a table.
yeah. There a table for us?
Yes, there is a table reserved just for you.
Ready?
It's the only one open. It happens to have 3 seats. One of them has, kind of a couple wings cut out of the. No, there's a table. You find one. It's fine.
Okay.
The wait staff is friendly and requests anything that you would like to drink or eat, kind of pushing the upselling of drinks as they are the most profitable at the restaurant.
I would play along, and actually, how much money do I have? Before I play along, yeah, I'm good.
Checks his coin sack. It's like this big.
Oh yeah, that should be enough for an ale. And
So I would play along and just order something finer
Mhm.
in this on the scale of like a fine drink, basically.
I just like,
I'll just say I'll pay the first round of drinks, guys.
oh, great. I'm just hungry and take the. They have like a daily menu or something.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'll take that.
It's 9 silver. And,
Ooh.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll take it anyway.
Very good.
I'll take it
some
too.
nice meat and some bread, jug of ale.
Vegetables.
Of course, naturally. Lots of
I eat
corn.
my 5 fruits and vegetables per day. So.
Oh, yes, good old food pyramid.
Yeah.
So I also removed 9 silver out of my coin purse for the same thing. How much would I pay for the drinks for everyone? Some fine drinks.
If you want to do light drinking, maybe a gold. If you want to do heavy drinking, upwards of 4.
That's,
For me,
I'd say the first
it's
round, so light for now.
More light drinking.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
So.
And as we're having the meal, I would grab the attention of the waiter or waitress who's serving the food and drinks, and I would say, by the way, we've been away.
For
We've been out of town for quite a while. What? Any news noteworthy?
She always having a lot to chat with customers about. Maybe not so much in the busy hours of the day. Gives you a short rundown of the news that she's overheard in the tavern, and the news of the past couple of days and past couple weeks, if it's super interesting. Most of it is political. There seems to be an uprising of the underclass that they don't really want to have happen. There's rumors that some of the Redbeards have been integrating and dyeing their hair into the society, trying to start and control this uprising. She tells you about Jarl Axel.
Who's that again? Sounds familiar.
It sounds familiar, but it's not that one.
Yeah.
Who is leading the Redbeards and basically complaining about his not so human-friendly activities. As she obviously doesn't know any of you, she's not too comfortable getting into too much detail, but is on the surface level complaining about, oh yeah, the slave trade is up and this is no good for anyone, etc., etc.
I didn't quite get this Jarl Axel. So he's the leader of the Redbeards. That's clear.
Mm-hmm.
And he's doing what kind of bad business? He said. So he's
Slave trade, mostly.
he's responsible with the slave trade. Okay.
Well, he's responsible for the Redbeards, and the Redbeards are engaged in slave trade.
Okay.
Normal piracy activities as well, but slaves are their main business, let's say.
And what's this about them having underwater ships?
Oh, the famous Red Pearl.
Oh, so it's only
no
one.
way.
It's only one
It
ship.
has to be, right?
Yeah.
Luckily, it's not Johnny Depp. But yeah.
He might have a similar accent though.
He might, if I can do it. I can't remember.
Isn't the underwater ship the one from that guy that has these?
Davy Jones.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that's the Black Pearl.
But why is the wrong?
But this is the Red Pearl for
No.
trademark purposes.
Yes.
Yes.
So it's the same with a Scottish accent.
All right, laddie. Yeah, so the merchants tell of the ship that will arise from the waters beneath you and attack without warning.
It's not very nice.
Some of them say, "Oh, that's not true," and that they do give warning and they do try to basically barter with people. Some of them say, "Oh yeah, they'll barter with you until you let them board, and then you're all slaves." There are many different accounts on exactly what they do. None of them really seem to line up. But you've now started the bar talking about that topic as more and more get involved in this debate. There's a small bar fight. Some people get pushed outside.
Roll for initiative.
Bar fight. Good old time.
Good old bar fight.
If you want to start throwing punches, feel free. But if not, you don't get involved.
I would actually keep eating my meal and just dodge plates
Flying.
and mugs.
I paid for this meal. I'm gonna eat it.
Okay, that's very interesting information.
But we are still alone at our table, right?
As
Yes,
alone as you can be.
As alone as you can be in a bar.
So I would say there is a topic that we kind of didn't get to talk about in the last few days.
That's your word.
Like,
Oh, you're bringing that up.
So I don't know if you noticed, but you kind of suddenly were like a bird or whatever.
Yeah, wasn't that weird?
Yes, that's what I thought as well.
Look, he's a bird all the time, and you're not complaining.
So,
I mean, how much do you know about warlocks, first of all?
oh, you're the first one I met.
Ah, there you go. So, warlocks are given boons from their patron. In my case, it's a matron. We struck a deal, and this is where I get my powers. And I've met a few other warlocks, very few, but I met a few. And this is something that one of the things that we can do is change appearances. You can do an insight check if you want.
I'm good.
No, do one. Because I'm
he
going
wants
to
to
do.
roll.
Okay.
He wants to battle you.
Oh, so good.
16.
Yeah. Nothing weird comes out of what I'm saying. I did 28 on my roll.
Oh.
By the way, this is the truth. That warlocks can do that. One of the eldritch invocations is that you can do at will.
Basically, this guy's self.
Yeah, but what you know about this guy's self is normally your clothes change with it.
Yeah.
And in my case, it was only my appearance, my physical appearance. My clothes stayed the same,
Uh-huh.
which is unusual out of that spell. That if you know the spell, it would work differently.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't use it too much, but it's a useful trick to have in some situations. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
And so you finish your meal, chatting about that, I suppose. The fight has calmed down.
I just imagine we're having this talk while it's like there's some. Excuse me. Like this guy
I was
just.
talking, okay.
The bartender comes over and asks you all to join him for a drink in the back.
Oh, what's the occasion?
Oh, you know, just like to chat with new clients.
Inside check. 21.
He's lying.
Really?
Yes.
But does he look like he has ill intentions, or
Yeah.
just that he's not telling the full story? Or?
What are you trying to discern?
I mean, if he just searches for a reason to talk to us,
like
or if he has like,
kidnapping in the back.
yeah, or
like
if he wants to kidnap us in the
attack.
back or whatever.
Because we're all really rich. What?
He saw your giant sack of coins.
It's really not that big, I should say.
It's just like that.
So you see that he's, his eyes go to the top left, and he's just trying to think of an excuse off the top of his head, much like your DM is doing, and then he doesn't really have any ill will towards you as a group.
Okay.
So only you.
Only me. Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah.
Any emotions for you to follow him?
And I'll stay on my guard.
Yeah.
I would react if.
Just put my hand on my sword, just like.
I hold fireball.
He's like coming in. Like,
You go first.
after you.
So he talks kind of a bit too loudly as he's opening the door to the back room to let you through. He says, "Oh yeah, just a drink in the back for my new customers." And
Like he's warning someone.
No, or that, or that's the pretense he's trying to give to
Oh.
others, and once we're in, he will. Actually, yeah.
maybe that's the trigger word to start the slaughter. Who knows? I don't know what he meant.
It's
So
password.
you all go into the back room. It seems to just be like a storage and preparation room, kind of kitchen. There's a stove, and some meat scattered around. There's some on the floor that one of the assistants seems to be picking up and putting back in the pot. And when the door closes behind him, he starts to berate you for talking about the Redbeards in his bar and costing him a window or two, and then goes on to warn you that it might not be best to inquire too much about them.
Why is that?
Stop asking questions.
Didn't I just tell you? It may not be in your best interest. It seems that people who inquire too much tend to disappear.
Okay.
Surprise.
Thanks for letting us know.
Mhm. Thanks you for fixing my windows, he says, stroking his beard.
Could I do that with mending?
Actually.
What space does it?
Sure, I can look it up.
They're 3 by 3 foot windows.
It's basically breaks no longer than 1 foot.
They're 3 by 3 foot windows, unfortunately. I have their glass panes shattered.
I tell him that they can break every window so it looks the same everywhere. I don't know if it
Interesting
works.
aesthetic choice,
Yeah.
but it won't keep the rain out.
Oh.
I will take some silver coin pieces out of this, and I'll just say, how much will that cost you?
Oh, for glass like that? Oh, it's a little bit rare, and you have to do better than a couple silver.
Sure.
Well, I'm asking how much. Name your price.
But
But I do not like when people inflate their prices too much. Happy to intimidate on this. That is a 22.
he believes you. And gives you a slightly above average price for the panes of glass, being 22 gold in total.
22 gold.
22 gold. Glass is expensive.
Yeah, but I tell him that we didn't break the glass, so we shouldn't pay.
And he responds that yes, that's probably true. Just again, on your way out, be careful about who you're talking to about inquiring to the Redbeards. You wouldn't want the wrong people to hear about that information.
Does that sound like a threat?
That sounds like a threat.
We should just
Just let's out of
let's
character
threaten
once
him
again.
too.
Anything we're saying now, we're right next to him. Just remember that.
Yeah.
We were not telepathically talking.
Not currently.
Well, at
no.
least not right now.
Magnus starts to cast a spell.
Yeah, I mean we can split it. We give, let's say we give you 18 gold for the glass. That should be a fair price.
He thinks about it. Accept your offer.
Okay. I can either take care of that or we split it. How do you like?
Do you have enough gold?
Yeah, sure. I wouldn't have paid, but if you guys want to make a team.
I mean, I can also do it.
I wouldn't have paid either, but he struck,
No,
he struck a deal, so that's fine.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
No, that's fine. I'll put 6 out of my
Okay.
pocket.
I put 6 too.
So
I'll never
I'll
come back
Where do you get your gold
from my pouch.
Oh, I don't actually. I never thought about where I store it. Yeah, I don't
from? Is
probably.
your gold in your bag of holding, or is it on a coin purse? Or is it
I would guess that like the most of it is because it's like too much to have.
It's a lot of gold.
Yeah. So I guess I would have like a nice amount in like a small pouch,
Mm-hmm.
just for the everyday use, and
Change.
then the rest of it in the bag of holding, yeah.
How much gold do you have exactly?
Everyday use of a exquisite living standard is around 10 gold a day.
I think I chose my living standard as moderate.
So how much gold would you have in your everyday use pouch?
I don't know. Let's say 50 gold.
50? Wow.
Everyday use?
That's a lot.
I mean, sometimes you have days where you buy like a new horse or whatever, and then it gets more expensive.
Yeah.
And
Okay. And so you're able to pull that out again. He takes note.
I bet. So I will ask him. So we'll follow your advice on the topic at hand, but what I'd suggest is that you satiate my curiosity on the topic, and then when we leave this room, we'll leave that topic behind us as well. How much of the rumors are true, and why is it? I mean, you said that they're well, maybe it wasn't him. That they're basically infiltrating society and basically helping the underclass uprising, right? They're kind of motivating.
Near the near the end of your sentences, when you start talking about the specifics, he interrupts and just kind of over you, and then asks his assistants to.
Oh, there's other people there.
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was just
picking
us.
up meat off the floor earlier.
Okay, I thought it was just us. Then I would have maybe not mentioned that then. Okay.
And asks for privacy, pretty much, and for them to go clean the bar glasses out front. And so they do.
Broken ones.
Also start picking up the glasses. And when you are alone with him, he says, "So what was that?"
I just want to know how much of the rumors are true. Are they trying to spark the uprising of the underclass? Trying to...
From what I understand, that may be true. I haven't heard of any of their agents myself, but I understand that they are a very powerful organization who can do whatever they want.
And so they're in the city, basically.
Oh, definitely.
Just so we can avoid them as best as we can. Is there a way for us to recognize them? Because I understand they...
He
That
chuckles.
ain't
They're
their
red
beard.
beards, naturally.
Well, what we heard is that they changed their beard color to avoid detection, which would be an obvious thing to do. Is there a telltale that we should know about, just so we can avoid them? Like if we see them, we go to another street.
Oh, I'm sure they're too proud to change their hair color.
Really?
Of course.
Didn't someone just say they had dyed it?
That was the...
That
Are you
was-
asking him?
I just asked the same question, but
Oh, okay.
Well, are you asking him? Or because
Yeah.
yes, he is.
Okay. Who did you hear that from? He says.
Oh,
I
some.
don't know. During
Other
the bar
person.
fights. that was-
Yeah, but I don't want to tell
Yeah.
him that. Okay. Oh, did he know? I mean, I'm talking to you, the DM, not to him.
You don't know if he knew, but as a reminder, your waitress had told you that
Yeah.
they had died.
Yeah, I remember that, but I'm just like,
Well,
he sees that I'm lying because I'm a bad liar, but I'm like just like, oh, I don't really remember. I just heard it.
I think it was probably someone in the bar, it was one of the patrons.
Right.
Well, if you remember who that is, you better tell me who they are as well, so I can give them the same warning I gave you.
Okay.
Of course.
And
Nope.
you seem to know a lot about these guys.
Of course, I'm a bartender. That's what we do.
Does he have a beard?
He doesn't have a beard.
Is it red?
I look at the roots.
a stocky, muscular, stereotypical bartender with a nice, thick, very dark black beard and very dark black hair.
Does it look natural?
You notice that the rest of his body is shaved.
Mm-hmm.
That's less common.
Shaved.
And
Yes, his arms are shaved. Yeah,
so
an apron
I'm
on,
giving
but
you a
his legs are
little
shaved.
wink just for you to keep a close eye on him. You're the insightful one, right?
I'm pretty insightful, yes.
Yeah, okay. So I will tell him, What if we wanted join the or help the Redbeards? Was that
Oh, who would do that? That's
Insight.
Uh,
Fuck. What? 11.
Who would do that?
I'll try as well, because that I've specifically said this to incite a reaction.
Uh-huh.
7. Who would do that?
Who would do that? But you know, if you really were on wanting to get into that type of lifestyle, I'm sure you'd have to have proven yourself somehow first.
Sure.
Of course.
And of course, if your actions were noteworthy, they would recruit you themselves. Not that anyone would want to join that terrible evil organization.
Of course.
We'll come back to you regarding. Yeah, we'll find some contact.
All right. Well, thank you for the advice. Anything else we want to ask this guy? No.
I just do while they were talking, I would do like a quick glance through the room if there's anything which you would not expect in like a storage room / kitchen or whatever.
No, looks like a pretty nice, for the city of Neverwinter standard, kitchen. It's got a double oven and a nice pot washing station. They actually do wash their pots
Oop.
sometimes when there's too much grease on them.
No way.
Trapdoor to the root cellar. A trapdoor pull-down ladder in the roof to what you assume would probably be living quarters. Extra storage maybe.
Just thought of something.
Oh,
Oh, by the way, you don't have to wear your thing.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, well, I don't mind.
Oh,
I like it.
forgot about it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't mind keeping.
yeah, doesn't really
Okay.
matter.
Someone
It's
said,
like a team.
I'm just gonna get close to him. It's like, oh, it seems like you have a little stain. Let me help with this, and I do prestidigitation,
Stain. Okay.
which can clean things.
Uh-oh.
I want to clean his beard,
Oh, fuck.
spotless.
Spotless red.
Yeah. And once I see this, I'll.
Did he notice?
I don't know if he would actually. He
I
would have
mean,
to
it's
look
not
at
really
it.
in your field of view, right?
So where was the spot that you were cleaning?
I just pretended it was here.
And when he looks down, he can see his
Oh yeah. It's like, oh, it looks like I cleaned a bit too much. Hold on, and I do it again, but this time I turn it black. I think I can do that. Let me see. I need to make sure I can do that.
Can you unclean it?
No, but
Well,
I
you can
can.
prestidigitation it, yes.
You can make a color. You can change colors of things. But I don't know if that would count.
Because if you change the color to red, maybe his beard wasn't red before.
No,
but he used it for
I didn't. I
cleaning.
just cleaned it. I
Oh.
removed all kinds of.
But
Yeah.
what is this change of color? And is it permanent?
You make a color, a small mark, or a symbol appear on an object or surface for 1 hour. He wouldn't know though.
He might not know. But you changed his beard black
Yes.
again.
So, I apologize. I didn't mean to clean that much.
And he reaches behind himself and locks the door.
Oh, he's by the door.
Yes. So he had gone to the door.
And I look at him in the eyes and say, "Don't worry, we're not here to cause trouble."
And you don't want to cause trouble with us.
Of course,
He
he
said, turn you
believes
back
you.
around.
And we don't want to cause trouble with any kind of organization. I think the message this gentleman has given us was very clear, and we will be wise to follow it.
He unlocks the door. Get out of my bar.
We'll leave a good tip, don't worry.
I won't.
We already
Take the
have,
ex-
actually.
Gonna take the extra 4 gold for his window.
No.
Maybe a couple piece.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I think straight out of here. We made some friends already.
That's good.
Friends.
Yeah, it's always good to have friends in the town.
Yeah. So you exit the spoon and jug
Yeah.
onto Neverwinter Street again. There
As-
are street urchins around. This is one of the more seedy parts of town. It's getting towards 2-3 o'clock now in the afternoon, so still plenty of daylight around. Maybe you'll have to find it in later, but it's not pressing.
So as soon as we're out, I would say, guys, let's go this way. And I try to go. I walk a bit fast and through small alleys and just try and start zigzagging. And as soon as we're a bit away from the tavern, I will say, they might want to follow us after this. So let's just make sure that doesn't happen. And do you have means to change your appearance?
Yes.
Can you do that to others?
Just fly away.
No.
You can fly away, yeah, but you're very visible in the sky, you know?
Also, not very high population of Aracocras in Neverwinter.
It's true. You have a hood?
Yeah, of course. I have a like hood and like wing hood, you know, like kind of traveler hood.
So let's just first let's keep walking, and then let's take actually let's walk for a little while, and I would ask you to just keep an eye to see if we're being followed.
Yeah. Do you want me to roll for perception or?
Are you actively attempting to see if you're being followed now?
Yes.
Yes.
Then it is
I
no
am as
longer
well.
passive perception.
I have
It
good
is
perception.
active perception.
I have a good perception.
What happens if the active perception is lower than the
I
passive
don't have a good
perception?
perception.
Then you are an unfortunate man.
18.
And I have 13.
13 also.
So you start glancing behind yourself every so often to taking a left, and another left to see if the people behind you are following, etc.
I look up as well, rooftops and things like that.
Boy. Okay. You see small heads peeking out from time to time, and then popping back when you look at them.
So we are being followed, basically.
Somebody's keeping an eye on you.
Those are above or?
Those are rooftop.
Should have killed him. I think, but yeah.
Could've killed those
Next
little
time.
street urchins.
No, not this time, but the dude, he was all alone.
Okay, let's find some kind of. We need to go indoors or a tunnel. Is there tunnels we can spot? Like,
I mean, there's the chasm. You could jump into that. Goes to the underbelly.
not that big of a tunnel.
Yeah.
It could be under a bridge. Basically, I want to break line of sight with them.
Yeah, there are some. You looking for this type of thing. You head towards an area of taller buildings, and sure enough, in some shanty style, someone has built their house across the walkway in order to have
To
better,
connect, yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
better square footage, and you're able to go into this makeshift housing tunnel.
So as soon as we do that, I would say switch appearances. I do the same. I turn into a tabaxi. And I take my cloak off and I reverse it, which is a different color, and I give it to him. So now you have a blue cloak around you,
Oh, always wanted the blue cloak.
and just cover the feathers as much as you can.
Yeah.
And now I'm a tabaxi.
Do you
All
wanna,
right,
like,
friends,
do you-
shall we move on?
do you want to like stay back to see if we go further, if they see that we kind of changed, to see like their reactions, because they don't recognize you anymore.
Yeah,
it
neither
gets-
him. Did you change appearances or?
I can do, yeah.
So I can kind of like walk alone, and maybe they saw something, so they kind of
They're
come
on the
running.
rooftops. So that's the thing. They're urchins basically. That's their job, is to follow people,
Mm.
and they're usually several. So. But yeah, we can split up, and because we're three, it's harder to follow us if we're less than three. But let's not be too far off. Did you have a spell for us to communicate
Yeah, but
telepathically?
Yes. I can either expand a very expensive spell slot for it, or we can wait for 10 minutes and I cast it as a ritual.
No, just do it. I mean, it's almost evening. We're gonna sleep soon.
Yeah,
anyway.
okay, so we are
But
now...
it's what's the distance, the range?
The distance, infinite.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. Then do it. Yeah.
So I disguised myself and we are connected telepathically, so we don't need to talk.
Okay, good. So then we can just split and then we will
Yeah.
reconvene somewhere else. And I forgot that I'm speaking like this now, so this is my new accent.
Mm.
Very well. Let's move on.
So shall we...
We
What?
reconvene in an hour.
Yes, where?
We can telepathically decide this.
Oh, that's true.
This is how I look. No.
Do you also have the pipe?
The pipe probably wouldn't yet. I can light it, sure.
Yours also lasts for an hour, right?
Mine lasts as long as I want.
Ah, mine lasts for an hour, so yeah.
So yeah, I guess that would make sense then. All right, my name is Drifting Cloud. If somebody asks.
Drifting Cloud.
Drifting Cloud.
Did you have that prepared?
Of course.
Of
I'm
course,
always
yeah.
prepared.
No.
So fun fact, but you guys wouldn't know. But my backstory, for each personas, I had the backstory for each persona. As kind of each chapter of his life is a different persona. Yeah.
It's very detailed.
I had a lot of fun with that one. Anyway, you were gonna say something. Sorry.
Oh, yes.
Roll
4.
something.
Anything.
You die.
Should I add something?
No.
10.
Check. Can you hear me?
One, two,
Check.
one,
1, 2, 1, 2.
1, 2.
So we split different directions and we meet in an hour and talk about it.
We go
where-
general direction. We go east, I guess. Where's the fancier part of town? Is easter side of Neverwinter, or is it north?
Sorry, the
The fa-
fancier?
Yeah.
The fancier is northwest, near the House of Knowledge.
And right now we are all the way west, right?
Yeah, southeast.
Southeast.
Oh, yeah,
The
close to
closest-
the
where are the harbors?
rift.
We're at the harbor, no? The docks. We actually crossed the whole town to get to the.
Well, so in the map, you're nearing the chasm. You're not all the way to the chasm, but you're more in the southeast section.
Okay.
So Neverwinter isn't like divided into quarters, but the elite quarter and the docks quarter are much smaller traditional one quarters than the two other large sections.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to meet somewhere here?
Yeah, let's hit the bridge. Anyway, I start walking and I'm
The
telling you
bridge,
those
he
things as I'm
says.
walking away.
Yeah.
So I've already walked away from these people and I
Yeah.
keep talking with them on the channel,
Telepathically.
Okay.
on the radio.
Telepathic channel.
You two split up as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
So you
Possibly go around.
right, you wander around for an hour.
We stay fairly close, like one street off of each other, so that if anything happens, we can quickly meet back. But
Shall I read it now?
Yes. And it is up to you whether you telepathically do anything after that.
Oh no.
Securitas! After that incident occurs, or during that incident, it's up to you to describe. That's it.
Okay, so I would of course relay it to you while it happens telepathically. So there was a pair of thugs that attempted to kidnap me, but I fought them off, of course.
oh,
But a policeman saw me fight them and assumed that I'm at fault. So I'm wanted now. The policeman didn't catch me, but I'm wanted now. So as soon as this happens, I would look for since I evaded the policeman, I guess
good thing
Like-
you had a disguise though.
I guess
Come back to.
I ran around like a corner and evaded him and whatever, and I would drop my disguise immediately.
Okay.
No, so there's the disguised you was being wanted.
And
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah.
What was your disguise? What appearance? Did you take?
what appearance did I have? I was a half orc.
Orc. Okay.
Half orc. But so now I'm thinking whether I should immediately disguise myself as something new, or whether I should just drop to my normal self.
I would recommend something new until.
Yeah, I guess I would immediately disguise myself as something new. Maybe something which looks like you don't want to try and attempt to kidnap it.
Like a half orc?
Like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe half orc was, yeah. Maybe I was a weaklish half orc. But now, let's say I
Halfling.
morph into a kind
Go-
of burly looking barbarian.
Barbarian is not a race.
Human barbarian, right?
Whoa, what's a burly looking race?
Goliath.
Yeah, Goliath.
Goliath? Yeah.
Goliath. Yeah.
Alright, a burly looking Goliath barbarian. steps out of the alley.
Yeah, it's subtle.
Subtle. Yeah. 9 foot tall. I don't know how tall.
Cloak is a little bit too small.
I cannot get too much bigger with that spell.
No, you cannot change size.
I think
basically.
only like
1 foot taller,
Yeah.
so like 7 foot or whatever.
The pants look a little bit smaller.
And you're a
what is
human?
it, the Hulk
Norman?
style.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. And an hour later, you're able to meet up.
At
At the spoon
At
is
the
like
bridge. no. We're at the bridge.
How did the guys look like that tried to kidnap me?
They were wearing pure black leather, and hoods that only showed their eyes. They looked like they were. Basically, this looks like their job. In that they're not just some street thugs who put.
Did they also have beards?
You couldn't see. So these are like tight leather
Ah,
masks.
I see.
In order to like slim down and hide their appearances.
Mm-hmm.
From their heights, you could tell that one was probably human and the other one was probably halfling or gnome, like some. They're hard to tell apart. But one was kind of small and one was a normal height.
And did the policeman seem like he was in on it? Because, I mean, 2 figures looking like that seem like the more probable culprits than me, I guess.
You don't know whether he was in on it or not, but you know that he started chasing you and not them. Maybe he just thought
He
you were
was
an
in.
easier target. Maybe he could beat you up and take your coin purse. Not all policemen are.
Neverwinter is so corrupted.
Yeah, not all policemen are the most honest. Maybe he just wanted a good boot stomping and thought that you were weak and that he could have some fun with the leftovers. Who knows? In any case, he was chasing you. No.
Okay.
Well, I'm glad you made it safely.
So did we convene at the bridge already?
Yeah, and we're crossing the bridge now. We're going. Here's my question.
Which bridge?
Whichever. I mean,
Maybe one of them is trapped.
There was a little bit of confusion, but you saw each other on the other bridge.
so
It's
from
this bridge. It's this one.
Is this you?
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
But I
That's
mean, we
right,
can
I
talk
wrote-
telepathically, so
Yeah,
it's
Yeah.
yeah, I look different now. But you know what happens, so
It's a warlock matron thing.
yeah.
So, as we're still walking, I would ask you guys. So, what's our play here? So we've just made some enemies of those redbeards. Sorry. One thing we could do is go to the authorities and potentially provide our help to them against them.
If
because
they are interested in getting rid of them and not working together with them,
I would assume they would be, but obviously there could be some corruption. That
I mean, we can test the waters, of course.
Yeah. And we could try and find the officials that we know in our Neverwinter and try and befriend them.
Still haven't figured out when we are, right?
My feeling is it's around the same time, just different universe. Do we have a way of knowing? We actually... No, we didn't.
Do they have newspapers that have a date?
Yeah, they would, right?
Ye old times.
I grab someone on the street like, what year is this? What year is this? Typical time traveler thing.
It happens to be the same year that you would expect it to be.
The same as in the same on the plane of air? Or
No,
Yes.
back home. Well,
They're
well,
all moving
the-
together.
yeah, plus 100 from our original time, basically.
You,
Explosion plus 100.
Singularity.
And a couple weeks.
At least I would say through a month and a half. Anyway, do we know any officials in Neverwinter that we trust that we could get in touch with? Back,
From your time.
yeah,
Yes.
Prime Fair and Neverwinter. Yes.
Being part of the Kingsguard and then being elected as the Peacekeepers, you know quite a few officials who could
Now you can see if they know us too.
They probably wouldn't. Well, they might, but
Different versions of it.
it would be interesting if we pick someone you know fairly well. You would know private things that not a stranger would not know, and that would be a way for us
Totally.
to convince him. It's like, look, we're from a different dimension, but we know you're there. We're cool. I know this about you. Trust us. You know?
I know you have a red beard. What?
Yeah, I mean we can try.
It's a long shot. I agree, but we could get more information about those redbeards. And what we're trying to do is to find this red shard, if our theory is correct.
Yes.
Anyway, we keep walking. What was
And
it?
so,
Yeah.
and so what do you do?
I don't really know people of the region, so I think this would more be your role because you're kind of from there.
Yeah.
I know some people in Neverwinter, but definitely not as good as he
I
does.
mean, we could try.
I mean, you were part of the guard, actually.
Yeah, we could try and see if there are any people in the wizard guard that I know, or versions of them at least.
But someone higher up, ideally. Someone a bit more ranked.
Yes, of course. I mean, Santos is probably not here in a
Mhm.
different version, but yeah, there are other like people below him, which might be here. So I don't know if we can just walk in there though.
Or another thing we could do is go, before we do that, is to go to a place where a lot of guards hang out, like a tavern where a lot of guards hang out.
Oh yeah, there
On the-
used to be one close to where we work. Then we used to go after our shifts.
And there we can glean some information about, is there a Santos here?
But is it more like a only guards tavern or only mage guard tavern, or is it more like an open one that you use?
Oh, it's an open one. I mean, it was many mage guards went there, but there were also other people.
Okay.
It's not
Yeah,
exclusive.
So
we can
basically,
try
if
this
it's
out.
if it's close to where they work, then after work they would go have a drink there, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
But I guess it's still probably like what time is it? Maybe a little bit too early for that.
Yeah.
4 or 5 o'clock now.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
In like half
And
an-
if it is an inn at the same
hour.
time, then we can probably.
It's a Friday. They're having Friday beers.
Oh yeah.
They start early.
Okay.
TGIF.
Good. Yeah, so you can go there
Very
and
pleasant.
check it out.
Then, if it is an inn as well, we could actually rent some rooms for the night. So we have something, a place to sleep tonight. I do not want to sleep outside on the streets.
If the other one looking for us.
We do have Lemon's tiny hut.
Yes, but that's still very visible. No, I think the, the guards would still not be very cool.
Depends on where you put it up.
With a little orange hut in the middle of the street. Okay, so we go to this
The bottomless cup,
the bottomless cup. Is
or
it a-
how it's called here, I don't know.
Similar, but different enough.
But I guess we were able to find it rather quickly.
Mm-hmm.
It would be the fill to the rim.
It's the half empty. No, you find the bottomless cup, and surprisingly, and it's just such good a name that they have it.
That they kept it.
Is it an inn as well, or
It is an inn.
just before we come in? I will return to Erdan's
Yeah, I would
as I enter, basically.
in an unseen moment.
Interesting choice.
No, I would also drop him in disguise, but maybe not in the doorway.
I have a hood on the head, so it's not like.
It's not like you're just shape shifting as you go.
Yeah.
in, you know?
It's basically
I'll
like
give
people
you
outside
back
don't see
your-
me.
I mean,
shape-shift,
mages are used
and the
to
people
such
in
stuff.
sees.
I'll give you back your hood
Thank
because
you.
maybe it's
Mhm.
the one you need.
Yes, I put it back
What color?
on the
Blue or?
Now it's grey.
Oh.
So yeah, I would also search for like a side street, go in there, drop my disguise, and then enter as my wizard self.
Okay.
And I'll just make a perception check before we go in, just to make sure we're still not being followed as we go there. Actually, but that's good. 22.
You weren't able to see anyone following you.
Okay.
Question for you. When you attended the Neverwinter orb exposition, what were you wearing?
So when we entered Neverwinter Hall, I had my robe,
Yes.
but then we went to the valet, or how it's called, and he gave us the bag, and I put my robe in there. Maybe I got it out of there by now. Yeah, I guess I would wear my robe.
Okay. And does that have any type of, hey, I'm a mage guard, wizard's guard, emblem symbol on it?
That's a good question. Is it one of my personal robes, or is
Do
it
you
one
have
of my
any-
work robes?
Yeah. You were, keep in mind, you were just coming back from a tradeway patrol.
Yeah, so it would
Yeah.
probably be my work robe.
So, any type of visible emblems on it?
Probably, right?
Probably, yes.
Of course.
And we're
It's
going
just-
to an
It's
official.
just covered with them.
Knowing that this is something that you have on, is that something that you want to keep on?
But would you have changed though? Because I was wearing my official courtier outfit at the thing,
Yeah.
but now I switched to traveler's outfit
Yes.
personally.
I don't know if you have multiple robes.
Do I?
That's you have
I don't think so.
outfits in your environment. And
I saw you have lots of outfits, yeah? You have like a whole
I do.
wardrobe with you.
Yeah, I do.
You got a bag of holding. I mean, it's fine.
Well, I didn't plan it that way though. I have clothes common, clothes fine, clothes traveler, and now I have a Dartman's outfit. I can lend you that one if you want.
No, I don't have anything else.
Okay. So that's consciously something that you would be
I mean-
okay with showing.
I can give you my cloak.
I mean, I can also just not wear the robe.
I mean, I'm not trying to hint
Yeah.
that this is a bad thing. It might be a great thing that you have this exposed.
Yeah.
But for your character, is it something that they would try to hide or flaunt? Or just, it just is what it is?
It just is what it is.
But we don't even think about it. It's just what you wear.
Yeah.
Yeah, so fair enough. And you went to the tavern?
Everybody's like,
Nobody really cares.
Really?
It's a public tavern. Just one that happens to be frequented more because it's very close in proximity. They have good reputation. Nobody breaks windows. It's a good time. And you start to get to drinking. And a couple guys walk in, taking off their black hoods as they enter, dressed in all black.
Shit.
Okay.
beards.
No beards, clean shaven. They taking off their hoods, walking over to some people.
Would I recognize
downtrodden.
them as the ones that tried to kidnap me?
They look very similar.
Did they
Okay.
see us?
I mean, I look different,
Oh, true.
so they wouldn't recognize me.
They're not attempting to scan the room at all.
Are-
One looks fairly bruised up. The other one's arm is in a cast.
Okay.
Oh, that's coming from you broke a.
Or a sling, sorry. They haven't had time to go to the hospital yet.
Is our telepathic thing still on?
By now,
How long is it still on?
does it still work? No, I actually just wanted to say that it would probably. So it kind of dropped as we convened at the bridge. But I wanted to say that I would have like recast it as a ritual before we enter the tavern.
Okay. Because it lasts an hour. Okay.
Less than an hour, yes.
Okay, then that's good. Good. Then, so I guess you tell us that it's the same people.
Yeah, so I would tell you telepathically.
And where are we right now? We're standing in the bar, or we sat down?
Yeah, so you've walked into the bar and you've gone a little way in. Naturally, you're making your way towards the bar itself, as this isn't really a sit-down type of establishment. There are some tables near the edges, but most people are talking and drinking in the middle. There's a small band playing some lute and drum music.
Mm-hmm.
A couple people are trying to dance terribly, but
And what kind of people are they talking to? Are they talking to guards? Are they?
yeah, they walked in and went over to a group of guards who looked to be consoling them. There's some laughs being had.
I'm trying to listen in the conversation.
You can make a perception for that one.
Can I
Oh,
aid
it's
you?
cocked. I don't know how you can aid me here better.
Can he
So
like if I also pay attention to it?
You can also
yeah,
listen.
trying to fill in words, maybe trying to help with lip reading, etc. You can help him try to paint a picture of what they're saying.
So wait, okay then. No, because if you're helping me, I get advantage. So I roll twice.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're just listening on your own.
I see.
So that was a 1. The other one was an 18. So
Oh well, I mean, if you have an 18,
yeah,
okay. Plus stuff.
that's
18?
plus.
Okay.
Yeah, it's already plussed.
So it's very difficult to hear in a bar across the room.
Mm-hmm.
Out of like meta, that's usually like a DC 20. So you're not able to really paint a super clear picture of what exactly they're talking about. But they seem very acquainted and friendly with each other.
Whom are they talking to?
Guards.
The guards there, obvious guards with the emblem of the city, etc. Just having gotten off of patrol or a watch.
Wizard guard or?
They don't seem to have any affiliation. It's just the symbol of Neverwinter.
Okay.
So not a symbol that you would know. Well, I mean, yes, you know the symbol of Neverwinter,
Uh-huh.
obviously, but not a symbol that you would expect a guard to be having, because where you are from, you are part of the Wizard's Guard or of the Knight's Guard, and they were neither of those things.
Okay.
And right, so with an 18, you're able to pick out a couple choice words here and there. One phrase you're able to pick up in particular is "they got away." Yes, that's about all you can glean.
I mentioned this to you guys.
Uh-huh.
They're talking about us, or you at least, I would guess. And they said they, which I find is strange. The other thing I find strange is if they were looking for us, how did they recognize you through your disguise? And then, if they're really looking for us, let's just try not to be seen by those guys.
Maybe they kind of recognized my first disguise, but lost me when I switched it the second time.
Yeah, but how did they see through the first disguise?
Maybe because it was too obvious how we did it. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they saw you
Like walk under that house and then come back as a different. I don't know.
We tried to be careful. I don't know.
But yeah, so I guess we still need to be careful.
So let's just, we're still talking telepathically. Let's just split, sit at different places, have drinks. Let's mingle with people. I'm gonna switch appearances again. I'll just go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I'm alone, I will switch to just a moment. Where's my thingy? There it is. I switched to Anakis. Now I'm a tiefling.
Mm-hmm.
We never question your changes. It just looks like it's a perfect disguise. You got smaller.
And I changed clothes as well, so I look like more of a commoner. So I'm a tiefling woman now.
Coming out of the wrong gendered bathroom. Of course, they're gendered bathroom.
I always get it wrong.
Not everything is binary.
If anybody makes a comment, I'll just say, "Did you assume my gender?"
Exactly.
20
Yes.
no, it's not 2018.
It's at 3033 right now.
Yeah.
Okay, you come back out. Aarakocra's unfortunately still in Aarakocra.
I am.
I give you back my hood before I go.
Great.
So you are at the bar, not ordering anything.
So yes, ordering something for sure.
Okay, so you order some drinks, a couple silver. One of the, let's say, more feisty-looking female guards comes up to you and asks about your emblem. She had not seen it before,
Mm-hmm.
but it says Neverwinter around it. What is it? What division are you?
Actually, I probably cannot tell you.
It's need to know basis.
But yes, I also work for the guard here.
Ah, like those black folk.
It's kind of it's similar. Yeah. So you surely know what the black folk do.
Oh well, I mean, if you're black folk, I'm not sure I want to.
I mean, I'm not, but I'm also like a kind of more secretive division.
Secrets. What do you do?
I would have to kill you if I did.
I was gonna say. People who ask too many questions. Oh.
Wait, are you serious?
Little smile.
Annoying smile. So how has your day been?
And you continue to make small talk?
Yeah, and also maybe I would kind of try to get some information on those black dudes. I mean, but I would need to do it in some way because she assumes that I know everything about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I would maybe ask her like, oh, why don't you like the black folk? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Are you afraid of them?
Make a deception and investigation check.
Okay, deception. Oh fuck. Deception is a 7.
Uh-huh.
What was the second one?
Are you drunk?
Investigation?
Yes.
10.
Okay, so you're drunk. And it's not, you're not able to hide it super well, what you're trying to do, but she's not exactly out to get you, as it were, because she also wants to know what the black folk do, and shares with you kind of her knowledge of what she thinks they do.
Mm-hmm.
They're the boogeymen, basically, that take people away from the back alleys in the dark of night sometimes, and those people are rarely seen again. They do work for the government, and of course they're only taking away bad people and terrorists.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
Yes, but people don't know where they take them, and there's some concerns in the city that this should not be legal, but the government refuses to acknowledge that they are working for the government.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of common not knowledge that yes, they do.
I'm probably hearing bits of this, not everything. I just go ask her about the government and try and figure out what kind of government, who's running the government. Is it not supposed to be? It's a monarchy, right? It's a kingdom.
You know it as a monarchy.
I try and figure out who's the ruler and stuff like that.
Only problem is that I told her that I'm from here. So
Hey, here's my friend from out of town.
And he wants to know a lot of stuff, but I can't tell him.
Exactly. So I guess we need to do it kind of differently, because when I start asking her this, like my story will kind of fall apart.
That's fine. Okay, maybe I'll be the dumb foreigner.
You can maybe stumble into me and spill your drink.
Oh, good idea. So I turn around with my ale and it's like, oh, I'm so sorry.
No, doesn't matter, it's fine.
This is how I look.
Nice coat.
Different clothes, but this is how I look.
Uh-huh.
It's actually really hard to find a good tiefling picture.
It's only sexy tieflings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm trying not to get them to.
Loot shots.
To make it.
Oh, it's only my work robe. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's not my fan clothing.
So she would look more dressed like a hunter. It's like someone who's living in nature and so on. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. Where are you from?
Oh, I'm from. I'm not really from one place. I'm a huntress. I travel around the region, and I just stopped by here just today. I'm Anarchist. Nice to meet you.
Ah, nice meeting you.
And your friend?
Yeah, I also just met her a few minutes ago.
She has a drink.
It's what's her name?
Lilao is her name.
Lilao.
And she's working for the guard, as you can see as well.
Damn straight. She says, "Don't
Shit.
You're a city guard. That's a very important job you do. What kind of do you patrol the streets or do you do something different?
She explains that she hasn't been on the force very long, and they're trying to keep her in the back office. But she really wants to get out and kick some butt on the streets.
I'm sure you'll get your chance. It's just a matter of time.
I'll mention your name to some of my contacts.
Oh, she's very appreciative.
I think you'll have a bright future.
And what is what kind of who's the ruler of Neverwinter? I'm sorry, I don't know much about this place. I just showed up, and I really orient my questions towards her.
That works well with your huntress persona.
Yeah.
Very good. And she invites you to sit with her in the table if you want to play some dice and talk politics.
All right.
Are you coming too, my friend?
Sure.
Okay. And so you go and talk politics and roll dice.
I win.
What do you roll?
I actually lose. I got a 4.
11.
Okay, so you win. You get a gold from him and from her.
Woohoo! 2 goals.
Actually, what's your Slayer hand?
Ah.
That's what you need to add to it.
You get a
Do
couple
we
instead.
play like that?
What did you?
It
What are you
is-
doing in the meantime?
I'm playing a drinking game with a part of the guard, trying to be as useful as possible, but not getting that much information.
Can you roll a gather information check?
What's that?
Investigation?
Investigation.
Sorry, it's back on.
My drunk investigation, is 9.
Okay.
See, I think this is the one thing that's missing, in my opinion, in the skills check is like a socialize skill, like a small talk type of,
Well, you could just
Maybe.
roll straight charisma check.
Or
Yeah, or
performance.
or
I don't know.
persuasion. Yeah, I guess performance could. That's more about really. Yeah, I suppose you could. Argue.
It says acting, storytelling, or some other form of entertainment.
Yeah, but it's more
It's
like
narrowed it down.
Yeah.
I'm not just
I don't know.
socializing, like being yourself skill would be.
Mm.
But if
I don't
you
think you need
had
to roll
like
to be yourself.
no, but if you had like different like kind of skills with it depends on with who you're kind of talking to.
Yeah.
So maybe you would more have with like noblemen, and I would have more with like lower classes or something like that.
Yeah.
That would be cool. So
Yeah, makes sense.
it makes like more integrate that to the social background too.
Makes sense.
So I'm having a +4 with.
Is there anything in particular you're trying to find out?
No, I think first I tried to get some information, but then I concentrated a little bit more to winning the drinking game than to gathering informations. So
That's
now,
Just in that kind of small talk, often they would start complaining about their daily annoyances, try and find out if there's anything
do I
particularly
find-
bothersome to the guards these
Yeah.
days. For example, this uprising that we've been hearing about from the underclass.
Can you roll twice, take the highest?
twice the
Yeah.
D20.
D20, yeah.
The highest, fortunately. Yeah. 7.
3 and 7.
You're drunk.
Shit.
And you lose the drinking game. So you're out a couple copper or a couple silver if you're feeling.
Yeah.
You need to write the coins you're spending.
I
by
still
the way.
have like 28.
Ah, you are, okay.
Yeah.
here that I so I have a round number on the phone.
Okay.
I
Alright.
still have 28. So I'm being really generous
Yes, you're being very generous. on the
and
table.
giving out really drunk, giving out instead of copper and silver piece, giving out 3 gold pieces,
Ooh.
and that pays the tourney while I'm sleeping. I kind of fell asleep on the
At the table.
at the table.
Okay. Maybe,
Uh,
maybe they'll draw some Sharpie eyes on you or something.
Yeah,
I'll just tell him, like, let's keep an eye on him now that he's completely
just
useless.
So
I
yeah,
tried to gather information. but
You did. You tried.
Did I hear something useful before
They,
fainting?
they were equating your underdogness to that of the Redbeards, and that those bastards will never be able to throw us out.
Oh. Don't seem happy. These are my last words. They don't seem happy.
But they don't seem
Happy.
And so you two go and talk politics with Lailau, and you're able to find out that yes, this too is a monarchy. It is ran by a queen, and she obviously denounces the Redbeards
Officially.
officially, and it's bad for business. It's bad for the economy. They're trying to make Neverwinter great again, and all they've managed to do is build a giant wall in the city, which hasn't seemed to help very much with trade.
By the way, something I'm a bit confused about. In the previous shard, I don't know, I shouldn't call this a shard. What should I call it? Plane?
Sure.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
I think you guys figured that out by now.
Okay. The people there clearly knew about the boundaries of the rift, right? What about here? Because we've seen clearly the boundaries of the rift and how much it encompassed. Do people here know that they're in this really finite?
We have but one world to live on, is mostly the response, if they are feeling philosophical.
If I mention Waterdeep, for example,
They go there, there's the tradeway that goes there.
so there are people going down.
They do not acknowledge the fact that there would be boundaries other than like the edge of the world, as it were, or like some of them think you're talking about the mountain ranges as boundaries, but none of them know anything about a giant rift wall that you can't walk through.
But there are people who say they've been to Waterdeep.
Yeah.
Okay.
The caravan going tomorrow, you want to come?
Well, I just got here, so maybe next time. Okay. Is there any info we can get on this uprising?
There's the general rumors that you've kind of heard that there's businesses that are kind of in on it. There are plants that there have, as in people planted around the city. People assume that they have been worming their way into key places to all strike at once like clockwork and overthrow the cities, the big scare. But a lot of others say that no, they're not that organized. They're just trying to cause disruption in the city government so that they can't organize and assault their basically headquarters.
Okay. By the way, during this whole thing, I'm kind of flirting with Layla. Not sure if she's into that.
She's more into Magnus.
Okay. All right.
Oh.
All yours. Okay.
Do you try to gather any more information, or do you call it a night?
I mean, definitely, as long as the night's going. At some point, I would have probably tried to get a room at the tavern, at the inn.
So the night starts to drag on, and the innkeeper asks, 3 extra rooms, anybody? Any takers?
I'll take one. How much is the room?
The bidding starts now! 1 copper, 2 silver!
I'll just go discreetly to the barkeep and say, "Oh, I really don't want to sleep out on the streets." Persuasion check.
He tells you can sleep in my
25.
bed,
You can sleep wherever you want. Right? Yeah, and offers you a private room for you and your guests.
I sleep alone.
I'm already sleeping.
Very well.
That's true.
Just need a table. Yeah.
I mean, 3
Whatever.
separate rooms.
Yeah.
3 rooms.
I mean, they're each one bed, like single rooms, basically. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
How much is the room?
And he gives you a reasonable price of 7 silver per room
Yeah.
per night.
Perfect. I will take 7 silver pieces out of his pocket.
7 silver.
14 actually. Nah, just 7. I'm so glad you can now just put an amount and say remove or add.
Ah, yeah.
Ooh, that's clever.
Yeah.
D&D Beyond, it's a good resource.
Oh. No, that didn't work properly.
Uh-oh.
Because I have it only in gold. When I subtract 7 silver, nothing happens because silver is already at 0.
Really? I thought it would just break the currency actually.
No, it doesn't for me.
Sad times. D&D Beyond, still needs some work.
No, no. When I have gold and subtract silver, nothing happens if I don't have silver.
That's
Well,
fine. You need some work.
You give a gold coin and you get your change back.
Very
I
good.
only have platinum.
Ooh,
Really?
platinum pieces.
I put all my gold and platinum. That's why.
Smelt it.
That's-
You're the
No,
platinum
I
dealer.
didn't get like that many like magic items.
Uh-huh.
So I had still
You
like
just have a shit ton of platinum on you.
4,700 gold
You
pieces.
might be a
left.
couple platinum light if you do a count.
You're an urchin pickpocket away from poorhood? No, poverty.
Sad times. Cool. So you're able to spend your
Yeah,
nights.
nothing happened.
If you want to, you can have fun with Lilau, but we're not going to do any of that here.
Thank you.
In the meanwhile, it would be a good time for a break.
Yes. Okay. Fate.
So I'm gonna
we're back live.
Very good. So where were we? Waking up sometime. Nothing happened during the night. Nobody got stabbed.
No.
And you wake up from your various hangovers. Of course, magic has a cure for that these days. You can press the vegetation away your hangover, I guess.
Can you?
No.
I don't know.
You have to assume.
Mm.
No.
And yeah, you wander downstairs for breakfast. You get some bacon and eggs for 2 silver, please.
Again.
It's a lot more expensive
Right,
in this
he's like
plane, huh?
nickel-diming you
Yeah.
How much?
2 silver.
for bacon and eggs.
I hope there's not only bacon and eggs. There is.
Oh, as much as you want, bacon and
Okay.
eggs. All
No.
of the eggs.
I'll take a Tupperware and put.
Hey, no Tupperware, that's okay. There's some watchmen down there as well that have woken up. Sure, thank you.
Why not?
I'll
And,
be able to break it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Lift it. Yeah. There you go.
I'll take some. Thank you.
Before we went down, actually, I would want to just have a chat and say, okay, so we've kind of started mingling with the people, but do we have a way to locate this shard?
No.
You didn't take that spell?
No.
So we should try and find out.
Wait, you didn't take locate object?
No.
Which spell did you take?
Banish.
Oh, really?
You want to
Mhm.
banish the shard?
Does it work for an object? Let me
Don't
check.
think so.
I think it only works for creatures.
What would happen?
I wonder what kind of charisma check saving throw is going to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's only for creatures.
Okay, well, that would have been useful.
Too late.
Too late now? I bet the pirates have it.
Yeah, that's. I have a feeling as well. On the volcano island, of course.
Yes.
We have a D&D feeling that
Yes.
I got a bad feeling about this.
I wonder. So, there is or was a teleportation circle in Neverwinter that was like open for my use. I wonder if that also works here. I'm not sure. It might. It might not.
Did you ask about the magic guard and the normal guard too, or
There's no magic.
Like we
card.
didn't specifically ask, but it didn't seem like they had the same distinction.
great? Are you still talking with your how do you call him, master?
I haven't. The last time I sent her a message was when we got here, and she confirmed 2 weeks had passed, and that's when she told us that
They had taken over.
they had taken over the company.
Mm-hmm.
She hasn't sent me any messages herself, did she?
things might be busy back home.
I mean, there's not much they can do
Well,
anyway
here's-
here.
They invade every plane.
There's no connection between here and there, as far as we can see. So I don't think she can be of much use anyway. Probably the next time I go to bed, I'll send a message just to give her an update if I don't mention it later.
Did you find any personalities you could try to chat with?
Not really.
No?
Yeah, I don't know, but it seems like at least the government is kind of using those kidnappers,
Mm-hmm.
or at
For
least
personal
for
business.
yeah, I guess. So I don't know if we could trust
Government,
any of the
yeah.
higher ups.
I mean, I don't think they would all be involved, but I'm sure
No.
there's some corrupted.
Yeah, we would need to be very careful. But also, we don't really seem to have credentials here. Like, nobody recognized me yesterday.
Yeah.
Santos. I was so famous.
So, I don't think
You didn't ask about Santos, did you? It would
No.
be interesting to know if there was.
a version of him.
Probably not, though.
I mean, we could probably, maybe we could just go to a library and look into a recent history book or whatever.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's too logical.
Hmm?
It's too logical.
Too much.
No, let's go to the sewers. That's where we're gonna find out answers.
Oh yes,
That's where
that
we
sounds
can
like a
find
plan.
history.
Finally,
After 3 giant crocodiles.
finally some combat.
But I would say let's try and find out as much as we can. I mean, any kind of clue on the red shard would be useful. So potentially in the history books we could find something, because
Mm-hmm.
we can assume this has existed. This pocket plane has existed for about 50 years at least, like the other one. So there might be some information, some kind of occurrences about this red shard since the last 50 years. We could also
Mhm.
try and figure out maybe the Redbeards suddenly started getting more powerful and more involved about 50 years ago. That would be a clue as well.
Yeah, maybe also the red shard is turning ice mountains into a volcano.
Yeah, and beards
Maybe
turn red.
the red shard
It's
allows you
Come
to
on.
like go with your ship underwater. I don't know.
Who knows?
No,
And
just,
that's
Well,
how
you
they
do.
got maybe more powerful and could develop.
So
So you know that because you were at the presentation of the orb.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, what
Shards.
is-
What do we know? That it does fire? No,
The red shard let you create a bonfire.
bonfire. As in volcano, basically.
It's pretty much equivalent to volcano.
Pretty much the same.
I almost
Can
picked
do
that as a
bonfire too.
cantrip.
Bonfire.
Yeah,
Ah,
Underwater.
almost picked it, but ended up
I'm
getting
not sure
something
if
else.
there's a limit.
to what?
Can you create a bonfire underwater with the bonfire spell?
Oh, I have no idea. I don't have that spell.
Can you do what, sir?
Create a bonfire underwater?
Yeah, it's just that it will instantly.
Oh, food.
What does it say?
Yeah, how can you float underwater? I like.
We don't have SpongeBob physics?
It says you create a bonfire on ground. So you would need to do it on ground, underwater.
Sea floor, yeah.
But it says it will burn until the spell ends.
Ta-da!
Well, I'm okay. So you cannot extinguish it
D&D logic.
Yeah, but how do they
magical
breathe
fire.
underwater?
And who
with
breathes
water breathing spells.
Water
Sea
breathing.
eagle.
Oh, water breathing.
Like you
spells.
can have a special ring that's basically lets you breathe underwater or something.
Is that the ring that lets you breathe
No.
underwater?
I'm pretty sure it is. It's got
No.
blue stone in it, so
It is, yeah.
Didn't I have the water breathing spell?
That's actually my focus.
someone did.
No, my focus is in my palm.
No, you have the water breathing spell
I
for all
don't.
of us?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's why I didn't take it.
Hmm.
Yes, I can allow us to drink, to breathe underwater, but 24 hours too. Yes,
And drink water.
you can drink it if you want.
Oh,
You
yeah.
can breathe
Maybe
at the
I
same
could also.
I took minor illusion as a cantrip, my 4th cantrip.
Ah.
Yeah. So find library.
Mhm.
Yes. Let's find a library.
Which
well, whether I
library?
would know where
we would
the
know the
closest
library.
library is if it's still there. Yeah. So I
The
would.
House of Knowledge. One
Yeah.
of the most famous buildings in Neverwinter.
Yes, exactly.
I would just ask the barkeep. I'm still the tiefling, by the way. I will be until further notice.
Ah, okay.
I will ask the barkeeps. By the way, the House of Knowledge, is that... I heard that it's at this place. Is that correct?
Yes, and kind of. It doesn't have any windows, so people doesn't break it. But if you had windows, it would be over there.
Okay. That's where I thought it is. Yeah.
It's
So
the giant spire. You can't miss it.
cool. Okay. Did you prepare new spells?
I thought about it, but I mean the only thing that might be worthwhile for here might be control water, but it's also not terribly useful. So
Control
I guess,
water, you say?
Yeah.
That's very useful. I don't know if it's more useful than other things.
Yeah, my other is like my other spell of that level is an attack spell. So if you want to get into a fight, I would not change it.
I would never want to get into a fight.
No, I'll leave my spells for now. No.
Actually, I'm not Erdan. I'm still playing Erdan. It's like, yeah. So Anarchist would say, "Oh, I never turn away from a fight. If only I had my bow."
Can't carry 20 weapons with you, right? Not for every single transformation, a new weapon, a new magic weapon, you know.
Not a problem. I can invoke my weapons, you know. Okay.
Yeah, let's go to the library.
Cool. So go to the House of Knowledge, and are greeted by at the end of a very long hallway after you open the doors. At the very end, dark inside, kind of gloomy, with a distant.
Do we hear the echo?
I answer, shh.
It's a library.
There's a chuckle. There are more books than you can imagine. And it is the House of Knowledge, one of the gleaming pearls of Faerun. That this is, if you want to know something, this is where you come to know it.
That's good, because we came to know something.
We went to the librarian. We're by the librarian now.
This is the House of Knowledge you've entered.
No, I mean, did we get close to the person who said hello, or?
I mean, you can walk to the other end of the library, and yes, the
Just
librarian
takes
is
3
at
hours.
the other end.
Okay. We walk all the way to the end and say, "Oh yeah, it's at towards the entrance. What you're looking for." Fine.
Fine.
As you're walking along, you notice various animated armors patrolling around, putting back books. There are some floating hands, it looks like, just animated hands reaching the higher shelves.
Mage hands, or because I have that cantrip, so I will know. Yeah.
So I guess we would ask the librarian for the section on recent Neverwinterian history.
Newspaper archives.
Newspaper
archives, that's possible.
Oh, that drivel. But yes, we catalog every episode or edition, sorry.
In microfilm.
In microfilm, yeah, so efficient stacking. They don't have microfilm, so they don't efficiently stack. It's in the basement. I'm sorry.
In the basement. That's and it's okay to access it.
Sure. Go on down stairwell 6B, and then take a right at the third door, and that will be in for the last year or two.
Last what? Year?
Last year or two.
And if we want to go further back, say 50 years?
The closer you get to the entrance, of 6B, you will be closer to recent history.
Okay.
Maybe try to move them in chunks at a time to not have too much effort.
Maybe while I look for the newspaper archives, you could look for anything of arcane nature related to,
I mean, I could check the books, the history books, and you check the newspapers.
No, what I mean is, like, I look more into the political situation news here, and you look more into the magical stuff, like red things.
We can do that.
Like elements
like
that
shards.
seem kind of extraordinary.
Shardy
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, just shards.
What about you?
I can try to help, but you know that my help is not as useful as being not very literate and.
I would actually love some help because you can reach high books.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
But I'll be more like the guy who carries the book than the guy who reads them.
That's fine by me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So then we split up, I guess, and
Okay.
we would ask
Yeah.
where the arcane section is, or if we want to know about
Arcane is a very wide
enchanted
topic.
items.
Oh yes, the sword of Ruthford. That's one people come in here all the time. I think there's a high school writing book reports on that.
We actually heard of an object. We don't know if it's real, but we're curious to find out. It's I describe a red shard basically, which goes that way and blah blah blah, and it's red and blah blah.
It makes bonfires.
Yes, actually, that's what we heard.
So he doesn't know anything about it, but calls up some magical assistants to kind of scatter and see if they can bring up anything, and say it may be a while, but I can tell you the sections they're looking into if you want to investigate them as well. Feel
Mhm.
free.
Perfect.
And he points you to 4 or 5 different sections that you
Okay.
think might have something to do with.
It's like Wikipedia, but
red.
magic.
Yeah, right. And it's like, oh, maybe these pages will help.
Okay. Shall I investigate?
Okay.
He's too good for this game.
It's too good.
11.
So there's no chance of failure in this.
Okay.
It just
It's
takes
like,
longer.
Isn't it like
It just takes
yeah,
longer.
Yeah, makes
So
sense.
you can take 20 on the investigation roll, right?
one? But I'm not
Oh, sorry.
investigating.
You
You
can
are.
take Because you do it until you
Ah.
find something.
So even
I
when
see.
you point the books out, I don't see them.
No, the red one.
There are
This one is blue. The red one. Yeah. Okay. So you keep rolling until he rolls 20, or how does that work?
Take 20 is like I spend 10 minutes doing this
Ah.
in order to.
So he doesn't even need to roll.
No.
Okay.
You just take 20. You just do it until it happens.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You can't do that.
You can
obviously,
also take 10, right? If you want to.
there's-
But no, it's like it takes less time or something like that.
yeah, taking 10. There's some rule about that. I can't quite
Maybe it was
remember.
another game.
But yeah, taking 20 is there's no consequence of failure, which is important. Like if you're going to climb a rope to the top of a cliff, you can't take 20 because
Yeah.
you could fall.
Yeah, yeah. And no time pressure and stuff like
And
that.
well, I mean, even if there is time pressure, it'll take at least 10 minutes to do the action.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you can look for a book, but not climb a ladder looking for a book.
Yes.
This is a D&D rule, an actual written rule.
Take 20 is a
Cool.
Oh.
That's very good to know.
It's like optional, right? I've
it's-
never heard of it.
Yeah, well, it's
It's just like when you have all the time you want and no some
Mhm.
pressure and
it was explicitly written at least in 3.5 and Pathfinder.
Is it in the DMG?
I'm pretty sure it is.
Okay.
But
I haven't read
it,
that,
it might
so-
be like up to the DM, and it's definitely at DM's discretion whether
Uh-huh.
take 20 works. But in this case, you spend enough time at the library, hours or whatever, to try to find
Okay.
to the best of your ability what you're looking for.
Yeah.
So, what exactly are you looking for in the basement?
So any mention of either red shard, which in my mind is unlikely, but still. Anything about the red beards? I'm curious to see when they started becoming a nuisance, and I have a guess that it's about 50 years ago, so that's where I would start looking. And just find out anything I can about them that the news would talk about. Yeah, I'm trying to connect them to the red shard, to be specific.
Okay. And in Arcane, you're looking for if there's any mention of a red shard.
Yeah, the red shard, or like other phenomena that sound kind of familiar or connected to it. And yeah, I guess also if this like volcano has always been a volcano.
Ah, yeah.
Stuff
Actually,
like this.
activity on the volcano as well. And because we know what the spell does, the bonfire thing, I could also connect an article that says, oh, this red beard guy shows up and suddenly fire erupted from well, on the ground, the bonfire.
Suddenly he
Quite
made a
specific.
barbecue.
And everybody was happy and
Or maybe there's a sketch of. There's no photography yet, in early photography or anything. I would guess not. Maybe they might probably do little sketches in the newspapers. So
Yeah.
if they do a sketch and we notice a shard that's not mentioned but drawn.
Okay. So you're not able to find any sketches or specific mentions of any type of shard or shard-like object. However, you are able to find around 50 years ago, the The last time that the volcano erupted was around 55 years ago. Usually it was about every 5 to 10 years the volcano would erupt and overflow. But since around 55 years ago, it has not. And the only ones willing to live under the volcano are not usually normal people, but outcasts. And so the Redbeards have actually made it their home. Everyone is secretly hoping, from at least the news articles, it seems that this volcano will erupt and wipe them out. But so far that does not seem to have happened.
I'm gonna take a guess and say the red shard is preventing the volcano from eruption, and as soon as we pick it up,
Get the hell out of here.
Okay.
So prepare teleport, prepare.
So we need everything we need to know. We just go to the center of the volcano and take the red shard.
But we have no indication that that's where the red shard is. That's just what's the word?
It's the most interesting place here.
Intuition.
Yeah. Okay. And anything about the Redbeards' activities? Like, did they show? When did they move to that island, or when did they establish their base there?
It's around 50 years ago. Before then, they were a roaming band.
Yeah.
It was purported that they had a secret base under Waterdeep.
Under.
Under
I was
Waterdeep.
going to say, if they are slavers, they probably bring the people to the Underdark. Maybe.
Would that make sense?
When was the
I
this
guess.
thing happened?
Hmm?
The Underdark.
The
Sorry.
chasm.
The chasm. Yeah. When did that happen?
That was like 500 years ago.
Okay.
Maybe they sell the ones they kidnap to Drow or whatever. I don't know.
That looks like.
Because I
Yes.
mean, they need to get the kidnapped people somewhere.
Usually, when there's a big criminal organization, there's some political people who very publicly say they want to stop them.
Mhm.
A prosecutor, a magistrate, or some kind of politician. They say we have to stop them, and he or she is the most active. Is there any kind of personality that stands out as being very openly against the Redbeards in the recent years, I should say?
You know that from your investigations yesterday, as well as confirmed by the newspapers, the Queen is very outspoken against the Redbeards.
Okay, anyone more accessible than the Queen?
Is she like very active in politics, or is like
Yes, it is more than just a title.
okay?
It is sort of empress, as it were, in that her
Okay.
word is law, and she does take a very active role in
But
politics.
is she the one who's behind these black guards too, or not really?
We don't know that,
That would be a good thing to find out.
but it's a very secretive thing. I don't think it'll be in the newspaper.
She has publicly denied that the government does any type of whisking away of people. That's not something that true governments should be involved in.
They're not very discreet then, because they just show up at a guard's friendly bar and start talking with guard, and they go away.
Yeah.
Okay. These black dressed guards, well, if they're guards, never noticed us or paid attention to us at the bar, did they? Because I would definitely have kept an eye on them.
They did not notice you, or at least if they did not recognize you. That you know us.
Kind of hard to recognize. I mean,
Yeah, but you were quite recognizable, and you were drunk,
this-
playing drinking games.
that's not the way it worked. You're like, oh no, he's kind of nice actually. Let's let him go.
I'm off the clock.
Yeah, exactly.
The 8 to 5 job.
Tomorrow, though.
Comes back at 8.
Okay, so that's pretty much all we find out. Nothing else. No other names, like some kind of how do you call these? Magistrate, that would be quite outspoken about the Blackbeard's threat?
There was a vote taken between the nobles of whether to spend a large majority of the city's cash to raise a navy to fight off and patrol the coast, to fight off the pirates and patrol the coast, or to secure their own borders and protect from a land side, saying that okay, we will not be attacked by our neighbors on land, and the sea is not bothering us. It's just the merchants. Let's take away the root of the problem and encourage more land-based trade. And in that vote, there were, of the three main, let's say, swing votes, Fairthy, one of the magistrates, voted for the navy, and Holron and Ingston were for the land-based, and were very outspoken against trying to fight the Redbeards.
Can you say the names again?
Fairthy,
Firthy?
Fairthy.
Fairthy? You're reading the note too.
Right.
And then the other two?
Are Holron and Ingston.
Holron and Ingston.
Ingston, yes. The rest of them basically follow their leader. So of these three leaders, their constituents followed suit.
Would I know if what kind of positions or what do they? I'm assuming they're kind of like ministers, and they have a domain of civil services. Like maybe one is in charge of the guards.
They actually represent the quarters of the city.
The quarters.
Yes.
Okay.
Where the fourth quarter is the jurisdiction of the queen, which is of the elite section.
Okay. So they would then reside within their quarters in some kind of, or at least work in one of those. Do they have like little town halls or something like this?
There is a, let's say, quarter center where you can raise concerns. It's where all the police congregate for that quarter, where most of the political and governmental organizations are.
So in one place, they're all there.
There's one in each quarter.
There's one in each quarter. And these people would work in those potentially, or
Potentially, they are known to have offices there.
So you said that the fourth quarter was the queen.
Mm-hmm.
So when they voted, she was probably for the navy. So it was 2 against 2.
She was not for the navy. She was for land-based trade.
Oh, really?
She was
even though she's so against Redbeards.
the Redbeards.
She is very outspoken against the Redbeards, but was ostensibly swayed by the public opinion,
Mm.
and agreed with her magisters that it would be the better option to purely cut off the pirates than spend resources fighting them.
My character would smile at this and see the political gears in there, and recognize that the queen is a very insightful politician.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you have to take a failure to not upset the balance of the.
My character just thinks stupid queen.
No, because if she just did whatever she wants, then she would lose influence over these people. So
Of
sometimes.
course, you know that because you know
Yeah.
politics.
Yeah,
But
which is why.
I don't know that.
Which is why I'm telling you those things. My character is telling you
You're
those
trying
things.
to tell me. I'm like, yeah, of course. I knew that, but I didn't.
Okay. Last thing I would check is if there's any books, or probably at that point I'm back upstairs with we're back upstairs with you, and I would say, is there a way for us to gain audience with one of those politicians? And if we wanted to meet with the queen, what's the proper way to do that? And I would probably know this as Erdan, but I want to make sure it's not different here. So
Yeah. So as Erdan, being a courtier and kind of having to relay messages between people, and people come to you to ask these type of questions. Hey, I want to talk to your boss. They're difficult to get a hold of.
Yeah.
They're very busy people, obviously. Many appointments. And more so the queen. So the appointments with the queen would come by high recommendations from the magistrates, and appointments with the magistrates would come through either long waits and scheduling or from high recommendations of their underlings. And their underlings usually can be bribed.
Yeah.
Who wants to spend some money?
But also might be subject to more sleight of hand measures of altering ledgers, etc. It's known to have been done. That names have been altered.
I think it's time for a montage. Yeah. So I would bring this up to you guys and say, I feel like if we can speak, if my instincts are right, this Ferdy would be a good person to convince to help us get to the. Let's give those people a code name. The ladybugs.
Ladybugs?
Yeah, think of their color. So.
Yeah, got it.
What?
Ladybugs are red.
Red
Yeah.
beards.
He's talking about red beards.
So if I want to talk about these people without naming them, so we don't attract attention, we call them the ladybugs.
Who? The Redbeards?
Yes.
No, don't tell their name. The ladybugs.
Those whose name must not be spoken.
Exactly.
It's like Voldemort, but there are a lot of.
We're in a quiet library. I'm just trying to keep it a low profile. We've attracted enough
Then when
attention.
we start a library fight.
See, like
Books thrown the wild.
invisible hands, like trying books.
Yeah. So my guess is that this guy would be a good ally if we convince. Is it a he or she? Ferdy?
He. They're all he's.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Yep. At least we have a queen. Counts double.
Final say.
If we can convince him that we have a common enemy and we want to help, we could get some help from him. But we would need to get some cogs running, which I'm an expert at, I have to say, to get an audience with him.
Yes.
That's why we need a montage.
Which quarter of the town is he the magistrate of?
He is the magistrate of the forest district, which is the top right.
Kreis 4.
Top right. And the queen is top left?
Yes.
So it's also the queens, you said it's the fourth one.
Mm-hmm. She's in charge of the high district, which is the northwest, which also has the House of Knowledge inside of it.
Okay.
We had a long rest, by the way. So that's one route we could take. I don't know what you guys think about this.
Mm-hmm.
And basically it can take some time, but I can use my suggestive means to get things a bit faster.
Yes.
Of course.
You mean we could go to the clerk that schedules the meetings?
Well, my thinking is
So-
if that's the route we're gonna take, I really mean we should have a montage.
Montage!
Because it's
you
like
don't wanna go
talking to
through all
one
of that.
person who gets us up the ladder, who gets us to the next ladder until we get the
Takes
audience with.
ages.
I don't know if it would take too long.
Can't
but-
you just talk directly to someone who's just under 30?
But we don't know who that is. That's the thing. And to get audience with that person, we would need to get
Yes,
an
it's
audience with.
Or let some
Yeah.
coin flow, pretty
Yeah,
sure.
that's the idea. It's like
Okay.
you have to talk with multiple people who gets you shortcuts to the person you want to speak to.
So we agreed we're montaging?
But unless we want to, I'm open to other ideas. That's just one way to get access to this person, who would have more information, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
We could keep. I mean, I suppose this is something I can do on my own during the montage, right? So you guys could do other things during the montage. We all like cut through different things. I don't know if that makes sense. Like study more about the research more
try
about
to
the red
like
shard.
walk around the city and try to see what activities these black guards do, or black Santos.
Yeah, that's risky.
Try
But
Yeah, no, just like fly around like a normal.
Like a
Alright.
normal Aarakocra.
Like a normal Aarakocra. Just like
Don't
spot
mind
the black
me.
guard. Oh, what are you doing?
I mean, they cannot catch you if you fly.
No, just being like this curious Aarakocra who pretends to be an explorer. He
Yeah.
wants to know about everything.
so you want to be bait.
Yeah, kind of. Weren't you the guy we pursued yesterday? Oh, no, that was another one. He was also green, but it was another one. No, okay, maybe not
Different
the best
eagle.
idea. I mean, not too bad, but not the best.
It could be entertaining.
It would definitely be entertaining. Basically, we could have a fight scene resulting from that.
Or just I could have a fight scene
You-
because you guys are
There are still the sewers.
There's the sewers.
crocodiles.
I feel that the pirates have their headquarters not only on the volcano, but also in the sewers.
Well, they definitely have some form of presence here. So
I mean, they
have
kind
to,
of already have a bar. So.
Yes,
I
they have a
suspect these
bar.
other two ministers or whatever they are, or at least one of them, is
kind
helping
of
them.
corrupted.
Yeah, probably they need to have some kind of higher up
Big-
that they basically have on their side.
Well, basically, if they can send those black guards after people who just started asking a lot of questions about
Have you asked if one of the two was more opposed to the queen? Maybe one of the two is more of a leader and the other one more of a follower.
Well, that was all newspaper research, but was there any kind of indication that some people are opposing the queen a bit more? I would think they would. Of course, there would be.
Or if one of the two was kind of leading the
But
decision to not invest into the navy, more into the land.
They seem to have reached the conclusions separately.
Okay.
Rarely do the quarters all agree on the same thing, and there's
Mhm.
not really an alliance as such between the quarters themselves.
Alright.
I mean, it's possible one was blackmail, the other one is the one doing the blackmailing. I don't know. It's but I don't think we need to worry about them too much unless they show up in our montage.
Yeah, that's just why to get friendly. And
But
how-
you could do more research on the red shard in the meantime.
yes.
Did you get anything till now? Or
No. The question is if that would lead anywhere. Maybe nobody even knows that it exists. Maybe it just appeared, and even the pirates.
But there's lots
I
of
don't
places where you could find out where, for example, enchanted items shops or people who actually do enchanting, collectors. People might have heard rumors.
Yeah, sure, we can definitely try.
Doesn't hurt. And you could do more drinking games. And maybe get more rumors about what's going on in town that is not necessarily about these things.
Yeah.
Like, is there any problems in the sewers?
Yeah.
Always a crocodile.
I can go to a like low establishment.
Yeah,
The
just,
things you wouldn't get into because
just don't get in trouble.
Mhm.
Drifting Cloud would be
and
those
trying
places.
to get better at drinking games. Of course. Being a little bit less generous than last time.
I can teach you a trick. Look, I pour a drink, and you look like I'm drinking it,
Okay.
but then I show you behind and it's all wet there. I'm trying to teach you the trick because I
Yeah.
have good slayer hands.
Don't you have a like magic trick to like absorb what's in the glass or like to keep sober?
I think he might be able to turn alcohol into water or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but the thing that
water into wine.
No, the other way around. please.
Right.
I know that's usually the way you want it, but in this case, it's the other way around.
how is your character called? Jesus?
Jesus. Yes.
Jesus. JC.
I am Southern American. Yeah. So okay, so you're trying to set up our audience with the magistrate.
No, it's not a magistrate. It's the what's his position? Governor? How do you call these?
Fair thing.
Yeah,
Is a magistrate.
magistrate. Okay. Yeah, then yes.
So I'm trying to get to like a low standard tavern where there might be some
Drinking your way down the social
but
ladder.
more like Redbeard fans because people there have kind of nothing to lose in this town and they're more the people who are being neglected by the town than the people who profit from this town like merchants or so who make benefits. So they're more able to support the Redbeards who maybe join the Redbeards would be an easy way to make money for them.
Oh yeah, you can get into the underclass uprising.
Yeah, so I'm trying to pull some tricks with drinking.
Maybe hold off on the drinking bit.
Trying to not have a wall just right behind me so it doesn't just come back at me.
You actually have pretty high constitution, so you could probably hold your alcohol. But
Yeah.
just to be clear, this is not a one-time thing. It's going to take several days, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that's actually really cool if you can take your several days into getting into the uprising.
It's like undercover mission.
Yeah, exactly. It's you have to go.
Like
You have to get into
green
fights.
Avococra, no one notices.
And what's your angle in that research bit you want to do?
So I would. Okay, so several things. Of course, I would try to find some more arcane knowledge, maybe some shop, or maybe a more specialized library.
Yield magic shop.
Yeah, exactly.
What's magic at?
And try to inquire. Maybe you could also give me the white shard. And I could ask if they have something like it, because I'm building a collection, and it would be nice to have more of those.
Who has the white shard?
I have it, but you can have it for sure. Actually, I don't have an item, so I forget that I can levitate. I should create a.
You have a piece of paper somewhere. Whoever has the white
I
have
don't
it.
think I have.
I have
it,
the
yeah.
paper. I have it. Do you want it?
Yeah, sure. Also,
It's more important later who has the white shard.
I fly.
in a good sense or in a bad sense.
And you're back in
no,
the
it's not,
fallen
no.
city.
Surprise, motherfucker!
That's the one.
So yeah, if there is some kind of arcana shop or like kind of
Because
specialties.
You said
I
there's
don't know.
no magic guards, so does that mean that
There's no wizard's guard. No.
is magic rarer in this Neverwinter than in the other Neverwinter?
Not necessarily, but
Okay.
the guard has not split into different sections.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Then also, yeah, if I can find out like from a library, like recent newspapers or whatever, if there are any persons that are basically the same, different versions of persons I knew in Neverwinter that were in the guard, I would check for that. And since we have several days,
Or even Santos. I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah, and Santos, of course. If there are like similar versions of like people I knew.
Can I see the?
And the last thing is, since we have several days, I would test out, without going through it, if my teleportation circle works
How
here.
would you test out without going through it?
I just
Come into this circle, go through it.
I draw a 10-foot diameter circle on the ground inscribed with sigils that link my location to a permanent teleportation circle of my choice. And the shimmering portal opens if that actual endpoint exists.
Then you kidnap
And
someone.
then don't need to step through it necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah, but then do you know if it works?
If it opens, I guess it wouldn't open if nothing would happen if there is no endpoint.
Can you see through the portal?
No.
I'll just convince someone to step into it.
It's like, hey, I see where you end up. My portal's great.
Do you want to see a magic trick? Just step.
So I would just check if it's active. If the sigil sequence in this Neverwinter is the same that I remember from our Neverwinter.
You mean Waterdeep? The sigil thing for Waterdeep.
He knew.
I know the
sigil
one
for Neverwinter.
from Neverwinter. Yeah.
Ah, so you wanna just okay. So you.
I
Wanna,
just
Just
like
to
it was
see
a
if it
portal
works.
that leads directly to the King's Guard's quarters.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's funny to send someone through.
I mean,
What are you doing here?
just if
I
we
just
need a
wanted
quick
to have a magic
escape,
trick.
I mean, it might be from kind of one bad situation to the next. But
Out of the pot.
Wait,
in the fire,
is that like a ritual or is it just a spell you can
it's
cast?
just a spell I can cast.
Oh,
It costs a lot of money or not?
It costs 50 gold. I have
fifth.
I have equipment for casting it 5 times.
Yeah.
So I would use one of those 5 times to see if if the portal at the guard is still active here.
Yeah, but you should 5 times. This is 10 gold. For 10 gold, you should send.
Well,
send
no.
someone.
I have
There's
rare
two-
chalks and inks infused with precious gems worth 250 gold pieces.
Oh,
And it's 50 per spell casting, so
Yeah.
it's 5 times.
He came prepared. I mean, you guys got 16,000 gold to prepare with, so I hope you brought some spell
I
points.
still can get prepared for 4,000 gold.
Yeah, that's good.
So
I have 50 gold pieces or so.
we'll montage around because I heard it last in the special November.
It's time
so
for a
they
montage.
yeah. So over the next 2 weeks.
2 weeks. Oh.
Oh, wow.
You are able to test the portal that yes, it works. And by throwing a rat through or something, I don't know, you're
Just
able
shy
to
of-
know that the teleportation circle did connect with Neverwinter of this realm. Specifically not the one in Material Prime.
Imagine in the guards room they just see rats coming out of teleportation circle.
Yeah, I was just asking myself, can you go through it backwards? I don't think
What
so.
does it say when you cross it?
It just says any creature that enters the portal instantly appears within 5 feet of the destination portal.
Sounds like a one way to me.
Sounds like one way, yeah.
No.
So they couldn't see, oh, the portal was activated, let's check who did it. And
Then 10 guards come out.
But keep in mind, as a permanent teleportation circle, it is not like a secret or sparsely used.
yeah,
thing, right?
of
Like,
course.
there are
Wait.
lots of people traveling through these portals all the time. It's more of an entry hall.
Yeah.
Where the guard is all around because they have to keep security on it.
Yeah.
But
No, just if we would need to escape from the exploding volcano or whatever. Yeah.
it's like somebody sent a rat through.
Yeah.
Why did they do that? Those never really.
Yeah.
Yes. Other things you're looking for?
The other thing was in some arcana or antiquity shops,
Right, so you
specialty
show around the White
shops.
Shard. Everybody's impressed at its quality and craftsmanship, except for the nice little dent in the side. And that, it's not prime quality. But I'll give you 500 gold for it.
Sounds good. I'll think about it.
1,000 gold. Final offer.
I'll sleep over it. I'll be back tomorrow.
He says they never come back.
Maybe I should have sold it. So there's no information at all that
the
there
shard?
was a similar object seen here before.
Some people try to pull a fast one on you, and you recognize them as minor illusions, but nothing of value that's real.
Okay. Yeah, and the third thing was whether there are any versions of persons I know, like higher ups from the Wizard's Guard or Santos himself.
You're able to find some personalities that kind of remind you of people, but no exact name matches, and there's no mention of like a powerful wizard or someone who started a Wizard's Guard in Neverwinter.
Okay.
By the way, during this whole montage, we would see each other regularly. I think at least once a
I
day.
dyed
Yeah.
my feathers here kind of
Red.
red. Trying to integrate
It's a show of
the
support.
the club.
So as
I'm
you-
actually sleeping in this new bar
yeah,
for the next days to try to integrate and find some more information.
very good.
Living my old life without these two.
I'm imagining him like getting into the bar for the first time, ordering a beer. It's like, God, I hate those nobles.
Fucking noble.
So I'm trying to, you know, I love you guys, but I have to really get into the role. So I really got into it.
So as you drink your way down the social ladder,
Yeah.
so in the chasm district, some people start to take note and make conversation with you about, oh yeah, you're that Aarakocra they were after.
What?
We heard you're interested in joining our cause, and
Of course.
but the government that young government sent the black folk after you.
They did.
So they thought because we're asking questions. They
And
thought.
there I tried to sell myself. Oh yeah, I didn't kill them because I didn't want any trouble, but I knocked them down and that's why they didn't get me and blah blah blah, and then tried to persuade them that I already made my proofs.
That you were Magnus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you clarify the details of all of this, and they start basically the initiation into the Redbeards. They're like, these are some people that you can talk to. So the people that you're talking with don't have red beards, and they're not part of that. So they don't look the role. But they say they are part of the organization, running the back end schemes, and that you can get into this, and there's some good cash in it for you.
Okay.
So, but
Always down for some good cash.
Good cash.
Good cash.
Before we get to the second half of that, what's your name now?
I would have switched to Erdan though, as
You're okay. You're Erdon.
when I'm doing my politician stuff.
Okay, so Erdon is doing the politician stuff and is able to spend 20 gold to put some money in the right pockets.
I should mention I use suggestion whenever I can, so that's basically telling them,
Yeah.
look, we're friends.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's
Friends,
like
let's
you can
go.
trust me. Why don't you help me?
For the forgery supplies and various special inks and stamps required to put the right letters in the right places, the people that you talk with need some monetary assistance. And yeah, you're able to suggestion your way up the ladder, and you have an appointment with Fairfield for 3 undisclosed persons of origin.
Good.
An urgent meeting of utmost secrecy is the wording of that.
Okay, cool.
maybe we should have like a grand entrance.
I just
Great.
I just
Hire a trumpeter.
I just spent 5 copper piece for 2 whole weeks in the
Pretty
shittiest
much.
tavern of
What's squalid? again?
Neverwinter. I don't know how it's called.
Yeah.
I came in there 2 weeks ago. I never left.
I should mention throughout these 2 weeks I would contact regularly
Lady Rich Tree and
Lady Rich Tree, just try and find out what's going on, just keep her updated,
Mhm.
see if she has anything interesting to say. Probably not every day, but
Uh-huh.
every once in a while.
She's interested to hear about your new location. and the existence of such a realm is upsetting to some people. Those who have not attended the relevant higher level education that goes into the philosophical nature of the multiverse, etc., etc. You know, are these now sentient beings that we must protect in this alternate universe, etc., etc. Interesting topics arise, but
We start having a 25-word philosophical conversation.
yeah.
To be or not to be.
And
Yeah.
she's very interested in your parts.
Okay.
In part 2 of the Descent into Madness.
That's his.
Yeah, that's you.
It's only a roll.
By the way, with teleportation circle, you get 2 different room sets when you first get this.
Yes. The other one is at my father's place.
They have a teleportation circle there.
I
You have to tell the
You
whole
don't
story.
know his father's place.
It's I made it myself. It's not the best one. It doesn't work super reliably, but yeah, I
Specifically, it was drawn in the dirt by hand and not made with the expensive chalk requirement. Therefore, it does not cost 18,000 gold.
exactly.
You might arrive there without a leg or an arm. But,
80. Why? Oh, because of the.
You
1
need to
year
cast
of,
it
for 1
every
year
day
of
for
day.
1 year
Yeah,
for
yeah.
50 gold pieces per day.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, sorry, 1,800 gold.
1800,
No, 18,000.
18,000 is
Yeah.
right, yeah. So it
Yeah.
works. You might not end up exactly where you want, but it kind
Good
of
enough.
works. But I didn't try. We can reach it from here.
It's like within a mile.
Yeah, that's close enough.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's not like you lose a leg, but it's still right.
So far, no.
Huh. It's alright.
So no circle to Waterdeep then.
No.
Okay, that's fine.
I wouldn't try it out.
No.
I mean, if you can find the sigil sequence, maybe this is public knowledge that we can find.
Probably not.
Then we can use other teleportation circles as well.
I probably used it, but I never cast it myself, so I wouldn't know. So- okay, no, that's fine. Fun
So
fact.
part 2 of Descent to Madness.
Yeah.
So your group of contacts,
And new friends.
your new friends that you've been hanging out with, drinking and showing neat tricks to.
Redbeard gang.
Yeah. Not confirmed Redbeards, but they say they
No.
are. Invite you to an outing one night to do what they call as a supply run. Wait, nudge, nudge.
I love supplies.
I love supplies.
Supplies! And tell you to come to the docks at midnight.
Go.
Fuck yeah, docks at midnight. That's supposed to be.
Looks super legal.
So we would, I mean, we of course would talk about the fact that you're going there before you go there.
Well, ask him if he would talk about it.
Yeah.
I mean,
can
unless
talk
you would,
about it,
unless you
but
don't talk to us
I'm
about
gonna
it,
go
and
anyway. So
unless you keep it a secret from us, of
I
course.
feel like being finally part of something where I can do something. So
Like, make a
I
difference.
I make a difference. So I finally want to try to go play the detective, even if I feel like sometimes this shouldn't be my role. But this time I feel like I finally have something to say.
Hey, you're the one who freed all the air elementals.
Yeah.
You make a difference.
So you tell us about it.
Yeah, I tell you that I'm going to the docks, but not to, how do you say? I will, if something bad happens, try not to step in so we don't compromise everything you did for the last 2 weeks. But I know that I can fly away. I mean, in my head it's super clear, but I know it might be, no, my character doesn't know it can be more difficult than flying away. But
So,
I feel like
I would.
he's like, oh, if something happens, then I'll just fly away. And that's all he thinks.
So immediately before you go there, I would recommend, if you want to, that we bond ourselves telepathically, just in case something goes wrong,
Yeah.
Ooh,
Alright.
gross.
and
I
and we
don't want to
might.
anymore.
So you meet at the docks, right?
Yeah.
So we might stay at a place close by. and be bound to you telepathically, and we let you do your thing. But if you need assistance, you can call us.
It's like in those movies when you have like doing secret operation, but it's still the FBI around.
Yeah.
Support.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you wired? Yeah, that
I
sounds like a good idea.
Also, because telepathic bond only lasts for an hour, I guess I would tell Hedwig to just try to follow you if she can, if you stay overground.
Can you actually cast through Hedwig?
No.
Okay.
Can I?
Pretty sure wizards can cast through their familiars. That's like
Fireball.
one
It's like a long text that
one of the
describes
benefits of
familiars.
familiars.
And I'll just
Through its vision, basically.
In any case, you're able to establish a telepathic bond, and Hedwig will be keeping an eye on you.
Yeah.
Always happy having one of my
I mean, it's true.
my
Hedwig's-
bird brothers keeping an eye on me.
Right?
There are several restrictions. If I want to cast through my familiar, because I can only give it commands if it's within 100 feet of me.
Mm-hmm.
So it would need to be within 100 feet of me and only with the range of touch.
Yeah.
So I couldn't cast
So you're
firebolt out of the sky or whatever.
Yeah. No.
And since it will probably be not within 100 feet of me most of the time.
Okay.
Right. Like I can tell it like follow him,
Yeah.
but as soon as it's without 100 feet of me, I cannot give new commands.
Yeah.
Okay. So in that case, basically, Hedwig would tell us.
If
What
anything,
happens?
Or you would see through it.
either where you go underground where she cannot follow anymore, or if anything happens after our telepathic
yeah.
bond.
Okay. Basically, we'll manage.
Okay. So you go to the docks
Yeah,
at midnight as promised,
of course.
and there are some guards milling around, as there always are at the docks, and a very low-slung rowboat approaches. It's a covered rowboat with just oars sticking out the side. It's only about 6 to 8 inches above the water, about this far above the water, and kind of slides up to the docks.
Guards don't see anything, or did I correct? Guards did see just.
The guards notice it,
Okay.
but don't say anything.
Okay.
Um,
Corruption. I did. I got
and,
you.
one of the people so there are 3 people with you,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them says, "Looks like the supplies are here." And the top of the rowboat, as it were, opens. Some people come out, and they are leading slaves off of the ship onto the docks.
Okay.
The guards start to walk away and kind of
Like
see other things that they
secure
need to,
the environment or something.
Yeah.
Like that? Yeah.
conveniently see other things that need securing.
Oh.
Is that on the south side?
Of the docks, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So the docks district, as a docks and trade district,
Like here.
yeah, is this district here.
Uh huh. Yeah.
Yes, there are docks on the top side as well, but they're mostly yachts.
Yeah. Okay.
They're mostly what?
Yachts.
So like
Oh.
expensive luxury.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's more the like Queen's district,
That's,
right?
that's the high district. Yeah.
All right. What do I have to do? So what do they ask me to? Just lead them through the roads, into the streets.
And so they explain to you that you'll need to get these people into barrels, so they can go on the cart and get trucked over to the drop-off point.
Barrels like wine,
Like
or beer
wine.
barrels.
Yeah, like wine, rum, good old wooden barrels.
All right.
You said these people?
Yes, these
Yeah.
are slaves being led off of the rowboat.
Slaves.
Yeah.
They're
just put them
obviously
into
slaves
barrels.
in
Okay.
I won't compromise my undercover for.
for some shitty morals.
Yeah.
You can talk to him telepathically.
Yeah, I know. Right now, I'm just very surprised.
And
So I'm
but
at
I
loss
feel
for
like
words.
following this card to wherever it goes will show me where they hide kind of the slaves. So I feel like not just starting taking out my sword and no, you won't get the slaves, and then they fire at me and I die. So I would be
Pragmatic.
more like, okay, yeah, put them into barrels. Seems completely normal to me, and then push.
Yeah.
Put the cover on top of it, a bit of hammer.
Mhm.
Are these people awake? Are they?
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
conscious. They've obviously been beaten in submission.
Okay.
You're right. Okay, next.
Kind of like that. And you get these 9 people into barrels and onto a cart. And you and one other each grab a handle of the back of this. It's basically a giant wheelbarrow,
Mm-hmm.
and start carting it through as the other 2, the remaining 2, sort of lead the way, clearing people out of the street, kicking urchins as they
Yeah.
are sleeping.
No wine transport.
Normal wine transport type
Yeah,
stuff.
of course.
You gotta get there before morning. 'Cause,
Yeah.
That's when the wine drinking starts.
Work is work is work.
Yeah. So you never see anyone except for the one person who is leading the slaves out, come out of the rowboat. After the slaves are let out, he goes back in. He does not have a red beard. Looks
See if I
fairly
beard
normal.
it all.
And closes the hatch and it kind of slips off into the darkness
Again.
again.
This goes like in the middle of the sea or more like coast like.
You
Close to the
see
coast.
it. You see it start to hug the coast out of
Okay.
sight. You and the team start transporting it through the city.
And while I do that, can I ask one of my companions secretly to follow the boat?
Telepathically?
Yeah.
No. I mean, you can say telepathically whatever you
I
want.
mean, it could be useful so we know where they have like a hideout.
Can Hedwig go?
If she's within 100 feet of me.
Is she?
I mean, the boat's not going to be on land.
No, is right now.
Oh, well, where
As
are you?
it-
Did you
Dep-
stay at
it
the tavern?
depends.
I mean, we
where-
stayed somewhere close to the docks.
I mean, if you went to a low standard, you know, like sailor,
We wouldn't be
Mm.
indoors. We'd be waiting outside. I think in some.
So, I mean, the thing is, I can only tell Hedwig to do something else if she's close by.
Mhm.
So is the
So
question.
are you to the
So
end
you
of
guys
this
are
hallway
like
here?
in some kind
Are
of
you
back
double
street.
that distance?
Sorry?
Are you in
as
some kind
close
of back
to him?
street or something?
Yeah.
Because that's about 30 meters.
Probably not.
But she can come back and you can send her again.
But she'd only come back if you order her.
I cannot order her to do anything else if she's too far away. That's the problem. It's
Good case
100
for
feet.
Teleport.
Sorry?
Sounds like a good case for teleport.
The
You like?
teleport?
You can teleport close to your familiar and then
Can I?
give it a command. I don't know.
No, I cannot.
Can I? No, I cannot.
I could, at most, polymorph into
Yeah, follow it yourself.
something that can fly, and then we are both
Like an
flying.
owl.
Why
Like,
is there
like
blue
2
dragons?
owls.
Yes.
Owl buddies.
Owl buddies. I mean, I wouldn't know where Hedwig currently is
Yeah.
because I can see it through her eyes.
Yeah.
So if she's close enough, like
What,
if
can
I
you not get closer?
yeah, I could get as close as possible, such that she's within 100 feet of me,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, do that.
and then tell her to follow the boat instead, if it's such that she doesn't kill herself. Like, oh, I could always snap her out. Yeah.
Just tell her to follow the thing, but if she's discovered, to leave. Return to you.
Yeah, exactly. And I can always snap her out even if she's further away.
Okay.
Um.
So let's do that quickly. But obviously, we don't go straight through these paths.
Oh yeah, that's the other
Hey, wait,
option.
hey, wait.
Oh, that's actually the other option. I can just snap her out, snap her in again, then
Uh-huh.
she's close by,
There you go.
and then
That sounds like a better option to me.
better option, and then tell her to follow the boat instead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alright.
that's true.
Okay.
And we are still telepathically bonded. Yes. Yes.
Cool. So Hedwig starts to follow the boat. She's able to pick it up based upon your directions of where it was going. as you pass through the city. When you get through the change from the docks and trade district to the chasm district,
I knew it.
there's a there's a new what? There's a new.
It's the
team-
Drows.
No, it's always the drow. There's a new team that is going to take over the cart.
That you're not part of.
So there's another team before waiting.
What do they kind of look like?
Kind of like you guys, bunch of scruffy dudes.
Much less feathery.
Is that hard?
And they say some code words like, "Oh yes, this is the wine for Mr. Somerton."
I'm like, no, no. And I just don't want to be compromised, so yeah. What do my companions, the 3 others, do? Do they just leave?
Yeah, so they nod and say, "Yes, this is the wine for Mr. Somerton."
Each one goes into a different direction, or do they all go back together?
No, so they say to you, as is often your first supply run, our work's done. The boys will take it from here.
Okay.
Let's go have a drink.
Oh, okay. So I can just, like, no one goes their own way, and I can, like, kind of fly to the roof and follow them
No,
sneakily. Okay.
I mean they're
Because
they're
they
heading you
asked
for a
me
drink
to
now.
go with them to drink. Okay.
And
So I'll have to do another run another time.
so they go to a more seedy tavern called the Spoon and Jug.
Shit.
And they're the
Just we tell him like, don't go there.
fuck.
Find an excuse. You don't have to follow everyone.
Finally, just before we arrive,
Puke.
like,
Puke.
yeah, I'm kind of puking into a kind of like broken window or something like
Performance.
that. And
What? They haven't fixed it yet. With all the money we gave
And
them.
then I just tell them I just feel bad because I need my hours of sleep. You know, our corporate different hours of sleep, different traditions, and I'll go back at my old tavern, and that they can, you know, they know where to find me at my but 1/3 of a copper night tavern.
They kind of look at each other and they're like, "Yeah, okay, see you later."
And I tell them that if they want to come by for a beer, they're always welcome. I'm always up to pay the first round, but then
Except when
everyone,
you're sick.
yeah, and then, but then everyone has to pay their round. They know how the rules are with me, but they know I always pay the first round, and that's why maybe most of the time they only stay for the first round. But yeah.
I like it. Well, alright, see you tomorrow.
And they seem suspiciously more than happy to see you go.
Okay.
And they enter the tavern.
Because at the beginning when they invited me, it was just like, oh yeah, you can come. I was like, oh yeah, you should come. But it's more like avoiding me to come, or
No, like they wanted you to come.
okay.
They needed a fourth, and you could be that fourth.
No, I mean for the tavern, not for the work.
Aha, for the tavern.
Yeah.
It seemed to be part of the job.
Okay.
That
To
you
go
were
to the
doing,
tavern
yeah.
afterwards.
That they were like, okay, now we head to the tavern.
That's probably where they get their payment, so they were happy that you were not part of it.
I have enough money. Like it's fucking dwarf. What?
Just ask them to give you your pay the next day or something.
Yeah, I'm looking. I make it look like I don't know we get paid for this, so they might.
They're more than happy to play along
So
with
they,
that.
I'll say they're more than happy to play along with that, and secondly, they will invite me again to work.
I mean,
with
Oh,
them
absolutely.
because
internships
they
aren't
will
paid.
get my payment.
Yeah.
But I don't tell them I still have like 4,000 gold pieces. What?
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, so they go to the tavern.
And they just tell me that maybe next time they will be the first to pay the round.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Of course.
They didn't
of
say.
course.
They didn't say anything like we pay. They said maybe the next time.
and that is the end of the Descent into Madness. The boat that you follow goes on for a ways. And then sort of turns off of the coast into the ocean, and a ship comes up from the ocean and kind of swallows it, and it goes back down.
Haha.
Swallows the small boat.
Yes.
Yeah, because it goes underwater.
There's as it comes up.
It's like a
there's
whale,
There's an
but
opening
it's a
in the
boat.
front. It looks
Ah.
kind of like a mouth,
Okay.
and it just brings it up.
Woohoo! So the legends are true.
And then there's the little owl in the middle of the sea, lost.
Being like, oh no, I
Oh,
can't land.
what do I do here?
Okay.
I'm getting tired.
That's how the owl died. Oh no.
It is not suicidal.
Interesting.
So armed with new knowledge, you're able to either go rouse some rabble and do the pitchforks, or rest off the night. What do you choose?
Guess there is not much we can do immediately.
I think I have too much on my good conscience to sleep well, but I still try to sleep. But I
We could
saw
try and
those-
follow the next bit of the.
If they are not too far gone already.
Yeah.
No, I mean as it happens. I mean, because he did his bit, but as he split off from them,
You
and
guys
I
could
could have
have-
said, "Should
yeah.
we follow them?"
But were we close?
Well, we're not too far. I wouldn't want to be.
I mean, you were watching the boat with your owl.
Yeah, but I
Uh,
was.
But you could.
I was not definitely staying in one place because
Yeah.
the idea was that if anything goes bad, that we can react
Yeah.
fairly
yeah,
quickly.
And it's your choice whether you split off.
Anyway, he needs me because he can't see or hear anything, so I would
Yes.
I would be walking him. I would be a drifting
Leave
cloud.
him
but-
So it depends a little bit on the timing now. So did I see the boat being swallowed before they split ways or after?
So the order of events is the boat comes in dock, and the whole event starts.
Yep.
Then the boat starts to leave, and the people start to walk.
Yep.
And this is when you made the owl follow the boat.
Yep.
And then the split happens. You start walking to the tavern.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's the tavern.
And then the boat's on.
Because at that
Some-
moment I would
sometime
still be
later the boat-
unusable, yeah.
Yeah. Sometime later the boat gets swallowed.
That would be the moment that I would snap out of
And
it
then,
again,
you're,
yeah.
and then you're back. So you're already back at whatever inn that you're staying at by the
So-
time that the boat swallowed.
Once they do that split, could I just try and follow them with him? On with a- yeah.
It's my blind uncle.
I would be during this whole thing. I would be drifting cloud anyway. The
Yeah.
tabaxi.
Yeah.
Because that's a nighttime job. So
What's that?
the tabaxi.
Drifting Cloud?
That's his name. Yeah.
This is it.
Oh, let me write that down. You have so many names.
Drifting cloud.
The other was...
Anakis was the female tiefling.
So Drifting Cloud is the Abaxi.
Tabaxi.
Tabaxi.
Yeah, the cat-like thing.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah. And what was the other name?
Anakis.
Anakis. Anakin.
No.
That was the tiefling. Okay.
But my friends call me just Cloud.
So yes, you're able to follow them.
Okay, with him in tow, basically, I'm holding him.
Yeah.
To-
he's
to-
your blind uncle. Brother.
And obviously, I follow from quite a distance. trying
But
to
your main character, Erden, he's like a half elf, right?
correct.
Okay.
Yes,
It's like so many characters.
I know, and you've only seen half.
Do you have a?
Characters.
Sorry.
Did you ever say a name with your Arakokra character? Or is
No,
it
I
just-
didn't.
okay.
That was totally improvised. So
Was it improvised like? Oh, you don't have a backstory for this character.
yeah, it was more of a
Okay.
mass thing, and it was more of a because of the not feeling secure with the
Uh-huh.
emptiness.
Yeah.
He just get like, oh, I wish I could fly, and he just turned into an aircraft. Totally unwilling.
Are you trying to do it stealthily?
Yes.
Or okay, then let's stealth check.
For me too? No, not really. No.
No,
That's a good
you
question.
I
just
cannot actively try
Yeah,
to
you
be
summon-
stealthy. I'm just stumbling.
You're part of his disguise.
Does that give me advantage?
It's
like
not
he's
just
being
stealth,
your
it's a
guide.
whole-
You're being like a really, really drunk person. Is being your guide throughout the night.
Yeah. Okay, I have to throw it here. Oh, good. That is 21.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
And deception?
Deception?
And a deception, yeah.
Okay.
At least it's a charisma check.
Yeah.
Oh.
24. Wait. No. Sorry. I got it totally wrong.
More.
How can you make a 24 out of a 5?
14. 14.
14. Alright, well, that's more reasonable at least.
whoa, yeah, I was like,
So you are not noticed by the guard? Or the...
I am noticed?
You're not noticed by,
Oh,
or by the guard, I mean the group
Yeah.
leading the wagon or cart, and you're able to fool enough of the plants, as it were, on the street. None of them raise any type of alarm that you're aware of.
Okay. And when he gets back to his senses, probably along the way, I would explain him what's happening.
Yep.
I'm like, be stealthy.
I mean, through the telepathic
Oh yeah,
stuff,
I would actually
have
tell
also,
you. That's true. I would have told you what
Yeah,
we're doing.
where we are going, yeah.
Quick,
Yeah.
don't look suspicious.
Don't look suspicious.
close your mouth. Oh.
You're drooling.
Good.
That helps.
That actually helps.
Helping your disguise. And you're able to follow them to the next handoff. Do you choose to keep following them?
At that point, I would say just have Hedwig take care of the rest. And
Yeah. I mean, I could also take care of it myself. But yeah, we can send Hamish first. Yes, let's do that. Let's do that.
So the idea is that from now we walk not behind them, we just go a different path, but we kind of follow alongside.
Yeah, we can.
We would actually tell him what we're doing so he can join us.
Because I haven't.
So he wouldn't go back to his tavern, he would join us instead.
No, I would like make it look like I'm going back and then.
Yeah. So yeah, we can send Hedwig to follow them, and we follow like 100 feet away from Hedwig.
Yeah.
So that would give us like 150 feet or whatever. Or even, no, Hedwig has dark vision 120 feet, so we could follow like over 200 feet behind
Oh,
or
so
whatever.
man, that's plenty enough.
Yeah.
You see that they make a couple twisty turns and end up at a tavern called the Roaring Snake, with a little snake head and like roar marks from it. And
Classy.
are unloading the barrels into the back room.
Rory Snake.
That's already in the chasm.
That's
Water
very near the
Ridge.
chasm in the chasm district.
Rory Snake, where slaves are hidden.
Okay.
So the question is, do we want to bust them out?
More of these damn moral quandaries. So that's what you see. They are loaded through the
only they
back,
were-
basically the back door of the tavern, where you would normally load wine barrels and beer barrels, etc., etc.
Yeah.
And slave or what?
Slave
What-
barrels.
Slave barrel.
And after they're done unloading it, unless you interject in between, then the door closes. They pack up the cart and
Was it the front door of the tavern?
there's the back. It's the kitchen entrance
Okay.
where you normally load beer barrels and stuff, because you don't want to carry it through the whole front dining area.
Yeah.
By the way, we never got a chance to talk about this, but turns out we thought those black guards were sent
By the red
by
beards.
the Redbeards,
Yes.
by the ladybugs. But turns out they thought we were partisans of the ladybugs, and they were trying to arrest us. So they're not so bad after all.
But who sent those guys?
The government.
But did they even know about us at that point?
Well, we did encounter guards as soon as we got into town.
I mean, that's true.
Maybe they realized that the paper we showed them was not legit, and then started.
Yes.
And that there was no such thing as the
King.
peacekeepers.
Because there was only an empress.
Yeah, actually, that's actually. So they're actually pretty stupid. I have to say. By order of the king.
Wait.
Seems legit to me.
Guys, pursue them.
And then as they're walking, very happily.
Wait.
Wait a minute.
We already got.
Missing.
Yeah. There is no king. Wow.
Yeah. Do we want to pursue this issue with the slaves further, or
Like
No.
free them.
So how soon is our next meeting? Well, our meeting with the for the.
Oh shit! It's in 6 hours.
Is it?
Oh, of course it is.
Of course it is, naturally. No, it could be the next day. Sometime.
No, I'm just wondering because my
When did you make the appointment for? So you're able to get an appointment. When did
for
you
me it
make
was
the
as soon as
That's in
possible.
6 hours.
okay. So the next morning basically.
You have the 7 a.m. slot.
I'm not sure there's a good
Woohoo.
slot.
And now is it? How far in the night are we? Is like almost morning.
It's 1 a.m.
Easy.
Is the
Let's get in
tavern
a
still open?
fight.
They're open till 2.
Okay, hold on. Is it safe to assume that these slaves are here to stay for at least 24 hours? You can do maybe an intelligence check to make the deduction logistically. If they arrive at this
Logistics of slave transfer.
of any kind of merchandise, really, but
Yeah.
Oh, actually, my slaver background grants me that
Oh.
knowledge.
make a slavery check. Because my assumption is if they bring them here at this hour, it's not to move them so soon. They will stay here for a little while, maybe not too long.
Unless they have underground connections from the tavern to somewhere else. Because it's close to the chasm, so I don't know where they bring them.
But just stop giving him ideas.
Yeah, I'm the one who said it was close to the chasm.
Isn't the dungeon of the Mad Mage underwater deep? Neverwinter?
No, it's
No,
Waterdeep.
it's Waterdeep. It's Waterdeep.
Yeah.
Shit. Yes.
That's the Undermountain as
Yeah.
well as Skullport.
Okay. Otherwise, we could have expanded the
Campaign.
campaign. I guess that gets you to level 20.
Probably.
It's not out yet.
You started going in there at level 20?
No, it's 5 actually. It's 5 to 20.
Alright.
Okay, so following my logic is that if they're gonna stay here for a while, and we have our appointment in a couple of hours anyway, that would be a very good way for us to earn his trust and say, look, we've done some investigation, slaves are being held there, send your people,
Oh yeah, that's true.
we earn your trust.
So we want
But
to.
maybe we should keep someone that has an eye on them. So if the situation changes, we might know right away.
Like Hedwig?
So I mean, problem is now that they are inside. I don't know if Hedwig is of much use.
Can you transform it into a cat or something like that?
I
Spider.
can transform
Oh
her
yeah, spider.
into a spider.
No, but it's too long, this whole...
But I can also. I mean, I could also become a spider myself.
But you
Check out how the situation inside looks like,
That's true.
and then we can decide what we want to do further.
I can also see through walls.
Oh, that's true. We already used that feature. That might be the first
Yeah, okay.
course of action, actually. Yes.
So, how is there a lot of people around? Is there a way for me to get close to the building without being seen? Is there?
To the back kitchen?
Yeah.
It's an alley, so not very populated.
All right. So Drifting Cloud will pass by quietly, discreetly, as a cat, and with his ghostly vision, look below and to the sides and see what it sees. And I'm looking basically to see where they're putting those barrels, first of all, or are they actually taking the slaves out and putting them into
Different
another...
barrels.
Maybe they have jail cells or something.
Yeah. So you're able to see. You get kicked a couple times from various street urchins.
Sorry, what?
You got kicked a couple times from various street urchins.
I look at my purse.
Wait, what? I thought you were a cat.
Yes, so. No, I mean my coin. I'm not a cat. I'm a tabaxi. Right?
Oh, okay. I thought you were going there as a cat.
No, I mean
It's
tabaxi.
kind of a cat.
Kind of a cat. Just taller one.
But you don't get kicked a couple times.
Okay. I thought they were pickpocketing me.
No. So you're able to see the inside under the, basically under the tavern. They have they've opened the barrels and brought them down into a cellar where they seem to have, like they're all sitting down there. You don't see any exits from the cellar, like any immediate exits, other than the ladder that they're going down. It's your pretty standard root cellar. You go down and there's dirt. They seem to have enough to eat and enough to drink. They're passing around bowls and jugs of something. And they're not chained up anymore at this point. Yeah.
Looks like they have places to sleep.
Not like beds or anything like that, but they would have enough room to all lay down.
So it looks like they're settling there for a while, not like they're getting ready to move or anything. The fact that they don't have chains would tell me they're staying there.
They're eating and drinking, and some of them are
The
starting
slaves
to
are.
lay down. Yeah, the slaves are.
Okay.
Cozy slave life.
And the people upstairs pull back up the ladder, close the trap door. There's some locking action going on
Okay. And I don't see any other passage
from
below.
the cellar. No.
Okay. While I'm doing all this, I'm actually reading a book like this, but I'm seeing through the book as well, so that's pretty cool.
Whatever.
So I would tell you guys what I've seen and
Uh-huh.
say I have a feeling they're here to stay. You wouldn't have a way to go in that trapped cellar anyway. The trap is really solid, right? It's not like bars, or is it bars?
Except
Sorry,
making
the
a
trap
hole
door.
in the trap and
Oh,
then
the trap
falling
door is
through.
just like a wooden door.
Okay, so there's no
Okay.
way to slip into it as a spider, is what I mean.
Depends on how well it's fitted into whatever.
That's true.
Yeah.
Depends on what size of spider you are.
Yes, that also depends.
Squishy kind.
And can I cast spells while I'm polymorph?
No.
Probably
Can
No,
not.
it's like a level 18 druid ability.
Ah, I see.
Can he
So
die as a spider?
Yes.
You can die as a spider. As soon as you drop to 0, you actually turn into your normal.
Yeah. First, you turn back into your normal self.
But
Oh,
at zero
it's
or
not
at
like
full health?
someone
At zero.
sees a spider. Spiders! Take a shoe and slap on it, and
Bloody
then,
poof.
and then your character dies.
No, but the spider aspect of
Yeah,
you
yeah,
dies,
yeah,
as
yeah,
it were,
okay.
and you
Yeah,
turn
it
back
says
into
can't
your
speak,
character.
can't cast spells, or take any other action.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hit the spider, that person falls.
Pretty much.
Yeah. It's like, if you drop to 0 hit points or below, you transform back to your normal form and carry over any excess damage below 0.
But what's your HP when you're a spider?
The spider. It's in the monster manual.
Yeah,
It's probably a few.
It's like
Alright.
7.
Can look it up.
That sounds high, actually. I think it's like 4.
Yeah,
Might depend.
it's squishable.
Yeah, it's 2. No, wait, it's 1.
It's 1. Alright, so literally the minimum amount.
Yeah, or rather, like it says, like the default value is 1, or if you want to throw a dice, it's 1d4 minus 1.
It's much better if it's your familiar,
get to
because you can
0.
roll their HP,
No,
Yeah,
minimum
and it's a d4.
minimum
So you can
Oh.
get up to 4 hit
Yes.
points if it's your familiar.
What
Anyway,
happens when you get-
1d4 minus 1.
What happens if you get 0 on that?
You can't.
What do
It's
you mean?
minimum 1.
Ah, okay. So it always makes sense to roll that instead of using the default value.
Pretty much.
Okay,
In any
so
case,
my suggestion is we just tip for the
Uh-huh.
in a few hours at our meeting, and we know exactly where they are. Even if they're not there, there would be some traces of them having been there. I think. I don't think they could hide it so easily.
Okay.
Okay, sounds good to you. Okay, let's sleep the few hours we have.
fast forward. And you're at the meeting with Farthy.
Yeah.
Did we get a short rest?
Yeah, I mean that counts. 3 hours is definitely a short rest.
Even 3 of them.
Yeah, 3 short rests.
3 short rests.
And you relay to him this information.
Yeah, so the first thing I would want to do, so we're all there, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm as Erdan. I look very official. I have my official clothes from Waterdeep. I know. First thing I would try to guess, and I would like to use your insight on this, is how is he really... I want to make sure he's not corrupt, let's say.
Okay.
So I would...
You run a background check.
Yeah, basically. So basically just mention things about the ladybugs,
Mm-hmm.
which at this point I call the redbeards.
Yeah.
And just see his reaction,
Yeah.
wait for his little nods or whatever's.
Okay.
Does that, yeah, I guess you would. But I'm giving you advantage probably because I'm assisting you in this matter. Would that count? Because we're doing this together.
Yeah, I mean you're playing good cop, bad cop, or whatever.
Yeah, kind of.
16. My throws were not good.
It's not
To
bad.
determine if he is secretly or blatantly working for the Redbeards or
Yeah, if-
against them.
Yeah, basically his sentiments towards the
So
redbeards.
from the reactions of the questions that you're asking, et cetera, you're able to determine with a fair bit of certainty that he really doesn't like the Redbeards and is trying to work against them.
Okay, then I would be very transparent about
Your intentions.
our intentions. I would say we are interested in moving against the Redbeards. We have some interests in visiting their place and
Take the treasure.
make sure that if possible to have them not be there anymore. Potentially a volcano eruption could help with that if that's something we could help manage. And then I'd tell them the information about the slaves that we've followed, and our investigation has led us to this. And I also mentioned we've kind of tried to work our ways through him in there. So please don't send your blackguards against us because we're trying to help.
Does he say something about the black guards when he says about? Please don't send
there's
you-
nothing about the black guards.
Of course.
And they call the black folk.
Yeah, Wesley. Too obvious, is it? The black cards.
And he says, "Oh, this is just the break we've been waiting for. If we can catch more of these seedy taverns in the act of harboring slaves, then we can prove that the Redbeards are behind this." And he calls up his secretary or whatever. Hits the button to get in here.
The red phone.
And basically asks that the police force start as quick as possible a team to raid this
The
place.
corrupt police force?
The corrupt police force to raid this this tavern and gather evidence.
I would say we'd be happy to assist if they need to, but if it's taken
Mhm.
care of, that's totally fine.
Would be happy to assist because what we saw till now of the police force didn't.
Don't say that.
I mean, we've been like frank to him for the whole thing, so I feel like we could be.
I haven't seen anything wrong.
The police seem to be on the side of the blackguard.
Yeah, there's quite some corruption for sure.
That's why.
We've
Yeah.
probably mentioned this as well.
But we haven't seen evidence of the police being on the side of the Redbeards.
Well, that's whatever we've seen is for the Redbeards. So it's
Yeah.
Is it though?
well, the shipment of slaves was brought by someone from the Redbeards.
Yeah.
And the guards didn't care at all.
Also true.
I guess they were right, yeah.
We'll also mention the tavern keeper, by the way, the mug.
There you go, rat him out.
Of course,
I mean, every.
he had us followed and stuff.
That's very interesting. Okay.
I don't give that.
By the way, if you have people with prestidigitation, just a little tip. And you want a rat, a red beard, that's me.
Yeah.
I just mentioned.
Okay. And so he enthusiastically takes note of all of this, and of all of the various places to raid that happen to be along the path that all of you have been seen at.
Sorry, what?
What?
I didn't get that.
Basically, you're telling him to raid every place that you've been to,
No, just the slave place.
and the tavern.
We didn't say to raid it. We just know there is a red
Tavern
beard.
keeper.
Yeah, we just told him about him, but I said I don't think you should raid that place. I think you should watch the guy.
Ah, okay.
He wanted to raid the
I thought you
whole
were talking about
entire
hit
town.
lists.
No.
Okay.
Because there's no proof of anything there, as far as I know.
Oh, he's like, we'll get proof out of that.
Yeah, so watching is much different than
Raiding.
his tavern.
Yeah, but the slave place definitely raided.
Yeah.
Get those slaves out of there ASAP. Yeah.
And do you want to play that out or fast forward through it?
What do you think?
Can we fight?
Can we fight?
Fight? You want to fight? You can fight him.
If we assist, then why not have a fight in the process?
You may be looking for a fight, yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Why not?
We haven't had one yet.
Yeah, that's true. We're already
We're
in
getting
third
itchy.
session. And,
So we'll just say we'll assist them if
Okay.
need be. So we won't be inside, but if something goes wrong, we can react to
Yeah.
it.
Okay. So you attend the raid, which occurs around 9 or 10. They're very quick at getting that force together. And you and a group of 6 police go to the tavern. You direct them where? As
The back
they've
door.
appointed you to, with the knowledge of where they're kept, etc., to advise them on the entry times.
I mean,
Okay.
we should have people also stationed at the front door,
Yeah,
just
sure.
if they try to bolt, but we should enter through the back, I guess.
Yeah.
Although keep in mind, like, you're not going to find a 9th level NPC here, so this is probably going to be like a curb stomp of low level NPCs.
Yeah.
Of a fight, but
Unless it's happening at the moment, they were transferring the slaves, and there's some. No, I'm just kidding.
super high level lieutenant there. Could be.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, we say station some people on the front just to take the people from an running way, and the main force goes through the back, and I just explain them exactly the layout so that they know and where the trapdoor is. Although obviously the trapdoor is only once the rooms have been cleared.
Is the tavern still closed at this time of day?
No, it's open for breakfast.
It's up. Okay.
Yeah. So if it's an inn or a tavern. If it's a tavern, they wouldn't be in
It's
this.
a tavern.
Never went to police force. Open the door.
So they don't have rooms.
But it's 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
They're open for
But they serve breakfast.
Yeah.
Okay, because they don't all do.
modern day tavern.
Cool. Yeah, so we'll make sure to say also careful about bystanders. It's breakfast time. Probably most people are done eating at that time, but there will still be some for sure.
People
Okay.
who do night watch. Gotta eat sometime.
True.
Righty ho.
Yeah.
So. It's 11 o'clock.
Oh yeah.
Battle will probably take between half an hour and an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, unless you just want to curb stomp level 1 NPCs, but yeah, I thought you wanted to fight there.
Let me check the connection.
I don't think I can stay that long. We'll have to stand up early tomorrow.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay.
Then we can start next time with a fight.
That sounds good.
Because
Unless
I've
we.
been trained at 11:19,
Uh-huh.
so I can kind of help cleaning up and then go.
Yeah. Okay, makes sense.
So I don't leave you guys just cleaning up here and leaving.
It's
Okay.
kind of you. Thank you.
Have a nice cleanup.
All right, then. Say goodbye to the stream.
Thank you for watching.
guys. Thanks for watching.